Chapter 1917. Yi Chun continued moving forward after breaking through the peak of darkness. After passing through the corridor, he entered a revolving hall. There were actually several passageways in this hall, and no one knew where they led to. Yi Chun circled around these passageways and carefully observed them. They were the 8 inner hidden gates. Z. The energy was out of balance. As the 8 inner hidden gates revolved, endless spiritual energy and demonic energy rushed towards Yi Chun. Oh, Yi Chun smiled faintly. He gathered energy in his sword fingers and swept them in all directions. In an instant, all the demonic energies and psionic energies exploded. This is a good place to cultivate. I just advanced to the conjoint body realm, so I'd like to see what this so-called energy imbalance looks like. Everyone else was trying to avoid the destructive effect caused by the energy imbalance, but Yi Chun was actually looking for it. Z. Sensing that Yi Chun had entered the 8 inner hidden gates, the surrounding space rapidly shook. The 8 inner hidden gates constantly revolved, constantly changing. So. Suddenly, one of the doors opened. Yi Chun glanced at it and saw that it was door opening. The Northwest Qian Palace, the creation of all things. Z. Within the gate, spiritual energy grew vigorously and continuously evolved into a sharp sword. It flickered with golden light and was extraordinarily majestic. Today this emperor will subdue the 8 inner hidden gates. Yi Chun was very satisfied with the grand array in front of him. The 8 inner hidden gates were incomparably mysterious, and he had already guessed that the core of this grand array was beneath the main hall. Kill! He moved in a flash and went straight for the golden sword. Z. Golden light flashed from Jin Jian's body, and sword chi shot out in all directions. Boom. The space around them exploded rapidly as Yi Chun unleashed his movement technique. The 9 heavens you treading steps was peerlessly exquisite. Every step was taken between the ruptured cracks in space, and it was peerlessly ingenious. Z. The sword chi of the door of opening attacked indiscriminately, and the path of the sword started to become chaotic. There's actually such a variation. Yi Chun was pleasantly surprised. This kind of formation variation was very ingenious and extremely powerful. Boom. The cracked ground shattered even more. Yi Chun stepped on the Big Dipper and walked around the heavenly cycle. Go! Yi Chun tossed the immortal slaying flying dagger. Master, watch me. The immortal slaying flying saber flashed with immortal light. Every immortal light was a sharp blade that tore through the air, containing extremely powerful slicing laws. Chi. In a single exchange, the countless rocks that had been sent flying earlier were all shattered. Z. The immortal slaying flying dagger spun rapidly and returned to Yi Chun's hand. Return. Yi Chun released the Void Breaker Beast and suppressed the might of the golden sword with its powerful suction force. Ancient God power erupted. The golden sword could not resist and was instantly subdued by Yi Chun. At the same time, Yi Chun controlled the power to open the door. Let's get straight to the point, Kill. Yi Chun activated the door opening force and attacked with the mountains. Boom. Huge mountains descended from the sky, rushing out from the door and directly attacking the formation. Z. At this moment, the healing gate of the Northern Qin Palace opened. Boom! Monstrous floodwaters filled the sky, like a ferocious dragon crossing the river or a ferocious flood dragon devouring people. Block water with earth. Yi Chun flew out. He stepped on the peaks and charged toward the northeast life gate. Ancient God power. He released the ancient God palm imprint and slammed it onto the life gate. Boom! Immediately, the gate of life opened on the spot, unable to withstand the ancient God's might. The earth elemental gate of life. Yi Chun stomped on the ground and activated all the divine energy in his body. He activated the endless vitality force, and an endless amount of earth rose from the ground. Rumble. Great floods and ferocious beasts were eventually subdued by the endless amount of earth. Z. At this time, the pain gate limit gate, and view gate opened at the same time. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Flames soared into the sky, thunder rumbled, and strange trees appeared one after another. Roar! The strong tentacle trees turned into giant pythons and coiled around Yi-chun. Yuan kill! Yi-chun was enraged, and the heavenly emperor's sword spirit appeared. Chi, chi, chi. The sword gleam was sharp, and the moonlight was cold. The flowing light shattered the void. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Countless strange trees shattered and turned into nothingness. Are you still going to block my way? Yi-chun displayed the heavenly emperor power and controlled everything. Endless power was in the hands of one person. Roar! The sky breaker beast roared and absorbed a lot of spiritual power and demonic energy. The power of the sky breaker beast space increased and evolved into countless space-time fragments. It had evolved into the space-time dragon. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The space-time dragon descended, and the surrounding space shook rapidly. Alternate dimensions kept appearing, and danger was everywhere. Calm down. The heavenly emperor power descended, and the space-time dragon stopped its violent state and obeyed the heavenly emperor's shadow's command. Break! Yi-chun flew above the space-time dragon's head and activated the power of the roar. Suddenly, the endless space shattered, and the 8 gates were broken. Roar! The roar shook the sky again. Suddenly, an endless suction force was produced in its huge mouth. The 8-gate divine disc that was 8,000 feet underground finally appeared. Z, Z, Z. The divine disc kept spinning. It was engraved with the 8 trigrams, yin and yang 4 symbols. All of them were the essence of the universe and were shocking. All right. Yi-chun stretched out his hand. The space-time dragon shook its head, and the 8-gate divine disc fell into Yi-chun's hand. Roar, roar, roar. Suddenly, after the space-time dragon advanced, it could not control its body. It was about to collapse the space and self-destruct. Heavenly Emperor's Sword. Yi-chun activated the Heavenly Emperor's Sword Spirit, and the Heavenly Emperor's shadow appeared behind him. Unparalleled ancient god. Control of everything. Panga Godhead, supreme dignity, ancient god power, control of everything. Powerful ancient god power continuously poured into the space-time dragon's body and finally calmed it down. This Voidbreaker beast can evolve into the space-time dragon form. How puzzling. The Voidbreaker beast's evolution was too violent. At the same time, the increase in strength was disproportionate. It was completely above ordinary evolution, so Yi-chun could not help but suspect its origin. After calming the space-time dragon's rage, Yi-chun obtained the 8-gate divine disc and controlled the 8-gate divine formation. His strength had greatly increased. Suddenly, the 8-gate ruins in front of Yi-chun sensed the intense clash of spiritual power and demonic energy. This is the Death Gate. Controlling the 8-gate divine formation, Yi-chun had already sensed the specific location of the clash. Swoosh! Yi-chun's figure flashed and rushed into the Death Gate. Ha ha ha! At this time, in the secret place of the Death Gate, Li Xiong's violent aura swept the entire place. Even Yuchi Fengyun was suppressed. Zhou Yulong, Hua Linlong, and the others were even more so. Under the influence of the magic tool, their strength could not fight against the demon clan at all. You bunch of trash, Dai. Li Xiong exploded with murderous intent. He grabbed one of the spirit realm powerhouses and directly grabbed him into the air. Die. The word die was undoubtedly cruel and murderous. Hiss. The fusion stage powerhouse could not withstand a single blow. His body shattered on the spot, and blood splattered everywhere. Huh. Zhou Yulong, Hua Linlong, and the others were shocked. Their hearts trembled, and they fell into despair. End of this chapter. Chapter 1918. Ha ha. You human trash. Your energy has been restrained by the formation. I've absorbed your previous energy and am now comparable to a tribulation passing expert. I have the foundation to go through the tribulation, while Yuchi Fengyun is at the end of his rope. Li Xiong was high and mighty, constantly taunting Yuchi Fengyun and the others. But no one was his match. Yuchi Fengyun still had the strength to fight, but under the restriction of the formation and the magic treasures, he lost the ability to resist. Li Xiong, you treacherous scum! How dare you break your promise and harm us? Yuchi Fengyun could only rely on his words to recover his spirit energy. Yuchi Fengyun, that's your problem. Humans and demons are irreconcilable. Don't you understand that? Entering the death gate means your time of death has come. Still want to struggle? No problem. I like watching humans struggle. It's so interesting, ha ha ha. Li Xiong winked at the remaining demons. Yes, the 5 experts surrounded Yuchi Fengyun's group. The situation was turning for the worse. Kill, Li Xiong ordered. The 5 experts charged at Yuchi Fengyun's group. It won't be that easy to kill us. Yuchi Fengyun was a powerhouse close to the tribulation realm. How could he just give up? Counterattack. Yes, Senior Fengyun. Everyone worked together to fight back against the demonic dwellers. At this moment, Li Xiong was absorbing the spirit energy from the demonic artifact and activating the curse. He was actually cultivating demonic and immortal dual cultivation. Impossible. Yuchi Fengyun was shocked to see Li Xiong cultivating demonic and immortal dual cultivation. He suspected that there was a way to break through to the tribulation realm, but it was controlled by Li Xiong. The key lay in the demonic artifact. Li Xiong, what's your demonic artifact for? Yuchi Fengyun asked. Why ask so much when you're at death's door? But there's no harm in telling you. This demonic artifact is the key to cultivating demonic and immortal dual cultivation. I'm about to pass the tribulation and rely on it. As long as I succeed, killing you will be as easy as slaughtering chickens. Li Xiong laughed. He knew that Yuchi Fengyun's group had no chance against him. All he could think about now was breaking through. Dual cultivation, activate. The devil weapon floated in the air, constantly releasing the immortal devil light. Soon after, it activated the power of the formation in the earth vein and began to instill energy into Li Xiong's body. And this was the main reason why this formation was designed. It was to find a heaven's favorite of the demon race and use the power of the immortal demons to achieve unparalleled merits. At that moment, Yichen was flying in the Death Gate passage. He had already sensed that there was a powerful immortal devil power circulating behind the Death Gate, which piqued his interest. Yuchi Fengyun, could it be you? Yi Chun thought of Yuchi Fengyun. This person had the highest cultivation base in this operation. Was he the one behind this? Of course, when Yi Chun entered the secret zone, he paid some attention to Li Xiong. This person seemed carefree, but he was quite shrewd. Yi Chun did not know what he was planning. So. Yi Chun sped up. He had a feeling that something big was about to happen. Inside the secret area of the Gate of Death, countless psionic energy and demonic energy were infused into Li Xiong's body, and his body was already in the state of both immortal and demonic extremes. This is the dual polarity of immortals and demons that the sovereign lord of the demon realm told me about. Wonderful. Li Xiong activated the sovereign lord's heart method and began to circulate the immortal devil power. Buzz. Immortal devil light appeared on Li Xiong's body. A golden core in his body was helping him convert the immortal devil power. This was a big move by the sovereign lord of the demon realm. He was using Li Xiong to test out this idea. Li Xiong felt an unprecedented power and was instantly overjoyed. He frantically improved his foundation, wanting to break through on the spot. At this time, the human cultivators were being suppressed by the demon clan cultivators. Even after Yuchi Fengyun's power was absorbed by the demonic artifact and the restriction of the formation in the earth, it was difficult for him to fight these demon clan powerhouses. Senior brother, don't worry and break through. Leave these trash to us. Senior brother, you're the sovereign lord's direct disciple. It's up to you this time. Li Xiong was overjoyed when he heard the words of the demon clan's prodigy. Junior brothers, trap them. After I break through, I'll slaughter them. Yes. The demon clan powerhouses already understood Li Xiong's intention. There was no need to kill the humans. As long as they trapped them, They could not stop him from breaking through. They could even see from Li Xiong's meaning that he did not want them to kill these humans and make him lose the fun of breaking through. Ah! With a roar, Li Xiong's body exploded with energy. With the power of the golden core, his foundation was improved to a terrifying level. Boom! Heaven and earth shook and thunder clouds covered the sky. Above Li Xiong's head, countless tribulation clouds appeared. Although these tribulation clouds were not as terrifying as the itinerant immortal's tribulation, they were still very powerful with the support of the immortal devil power. The strength of the tribulation clouds was a symbol of the cultivator's foundation after the tribulation. Now it seemed that after Li Xiong's tribulation clouds, his foundation was far above that of ordinary tribulation cultivators. He could even be called a demon clan genius. Ha ha ha! Li Xiong laughed wildly and used the power of the golden core to resist the tribulation clouds. I'm a demon clan genius. Who can stop me? It was the first time that Li Xiong felt that he was so powerful. Killing you is as easy as crushing an ant. At this moment, a voice suddenly came from the void, shaking everyone's mind. Ah, who is it? Many demon clan powerhouses jumped out and shouted. Li Xiong also fell into a nervous mood. He had reached a critical moment of the tribulation clouds and was about to succeed. At this time, this voice was very inappropriate. However, at this moment, he did not want to complicate matters and continue the tribulation clouds. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. At this time, a powerful force blasted the mountain wall, and a person walked out. Yi Chun. Zhou Yufeng immediately recognized that the person in front of her was Yi Chun. Many people from the spirit realm had a glimmer of hope in their eyes. Yi Chun, hurry and save us. Yi Chun, we're all humans from the spirit realm. We're the fastest. The human cultivators shouted Yi Chun's name, hoping that he could save everyone. However, hearing the shouts of the spirit realm geniuses, Yi Chun acted as if he did not hear them and slowly walked in front of the crowd. In Yi Chun's eyes, none of these good-for-nothings were worth saving, and none of the demon clan in front of him was worth taking seriously. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. At this time, lightning flashed on Li Xiong's body and raging flames burned. He had reached a critical moment. You seem to have reached the critical moment of the tribulation clouds. Yi Chun walked to a place not far from Li Xiong and said with a smile, So what? Nothing, I'll just kill you. Chapter 1919. Kill him. Yi Chun, you'll be our hero. Yes, Yi Chun, kill him. When the human cultivators heard Yi Chun's domineering words, they fanned the flames, hoping that Yi Chun would fight Li Xiong. Although in their eyes, Yi Chun was courting death by fighting Li Xiong. As long as Yi Chun held him back and prevented him from going through the tribulation, they would have a chance. Zhou Yufeng and the others exchanged glances with Yuchi Fengyan. They all began to encourage Yi Chun to fight Li Xiong and the others. The demon clan powerhouses came to Li Xiong's side and confronted Yi Chun. At this moment, the human powerhouses began to circulate their mental cultivation methods to resist the demon clan's formation in the earth vein. I'll kill just because you want me to? What do you think I am? Suddenly, Yi Chun looked coldly at Yuchi Fengyun and the others, causing them to tremble. Ha ha! Yi Chun, I respect your boldness. These people from the spirit realm are all trash. Despicable people. I know that you're from the spirit realm and an ascender. I deeply sympathize with their humiliation and bullying. I promise that as long as you don't cause trouble, not only will I not attack you after I successfully overcome my ascension, but I'll even cooperate with you and help you find treasures. That's a good suggestion. Yi Chun revealed a strange smile, seemingly agreeing on the surface. This made Yuchi Fengyun and the others furious. Traitor! You're negotiating with the demon clan. You're a traitor. Yuchi Fengyun scolded Yi Chun angrily. Yi Chun could have saved these idiots with a wave of his hand, but now that Yuchi Fengyun dared to say that to him, he could only apologize. Ha ha! Yi Chun, did you hear that? These people don't treat you as one of their own. Only by joining us will you have a way out. I'll succeed immediately and help you take revenge. All right, I promise you. Yi Chun nodded slightly and stood aside, watching. Ha ha, very good. Surround those trash. Yes. The five powerhouses surrounded Yuchi Fengyun and the others while Li Xiong continued to go through the tribulation. Yi Chen looked at Li Xiong with a cold smile. The latter did not understand what Yi Chen was thinking. However, as long as Yi Chen did nothing and he succeeded, these people would die. As Li Xiong roared in anger, the sovereign gold core took effect once again. Devil and immortal energy flowed into Li Xiong's body, strengthening his foundation. Yi Chen, you idiot. He's lying to you. You actually believe the words of the demon dwellers. What a fool. The words of the demon cannot be trusted. The human clan combatants clamored, hoping that Yi Chen would make a move. If you didn't trust them, would you still be here? Do you think I'm qualified to criticize you now? Yi Chen retorted coldly, leaving Zhou Yufeng and the rest speechless. It was precisely because they had believed Li Xiong's words that they had ended up like this. Yi Chen was right. They glared at Yi Chen, but Yi Chen ignored them. He had his own plan. Kakik. Li Xiong sneered in his heart. He was very appreciative of the internal strife of the human race. Yi Chen, you're really an idiot. You're too gullible. When I succeed, you'll all die. All of you will die. Thinking of this, Li Xiong couldn't help but strengthen his foundation to resist the power of the tribulation clouds. You're too slow. Let me help you. Li Xiong was stunned to hear what Yi Chen said. You can help me overcome the tribulation? Of course, it's very simple. How can I trust you? You can choose not to trust me, but with your strength, I think there's an 80% chance that you'll fail to overcome the tribulation. Li Xiong kept thinking in his heart. After a few struggles, although his foundation seemed to be improving rapidly, he knew very well that he could not truly control the golden core, causing the tribulation clouds to keep increasing. If this went on, it would indeed be dangerous. Could it be that this brat saw through my predicament? Impossible. What does he want? Does he really just want me to help him find treasures? Li Xiong's thoughts were in a mess. He could not figure out what Yi Chen was doing. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Lightning flashed, and the thunderclouds were strong. Li Xiong's body already had many bloody wounds. Li Xiong struggled internally. In the end, he had no choice but to accept Yi Chen's suggestion. Yi Chen, if you can really help me achieve the tribulation stage, I promise to give you at least 5 treasures as a reward. Very well. A strange smile appeared at the corner of Yi Chen and Li Xiong's lips. Both of them had their own thoughts. This battle of wits and courage would see who had the last laugh. Yi Chen, you've really become a traitor, a traitor. Be ****, I really misjudged you. As expected of the spiritual realm's trash, you can only betray others. Yuchi Fengyun and the rest were completely enraged, and they could not stop scolding Yi Chen. I can get my people to help you vent your anger. There's no hurry. I want to settle all the scores at once. There's no hurry all at once? Li Xiong frowned, feeling that there was a hidden meaning in Yi Chen's words, but he still did not understand what it meant. Moreover, he was concerned about his own tribulation, and there were many things that he did not want to think about. How will you help me? Immortal demon power? Simple. Yi Chen waved his fingers, and immediately, the immortal demon power turned into sword chi and shot into the sky. What? Li Xiong was shocked. He did not expect the brat before him to control the immortal demon power in advance. How could this be? He had relied on the Golden Core ruler to slightly control the dual polarity power, but he could not imagine what Yi Chen had relied on. After all, Yi Chen was only a spirit-level ascendant. He should not have any powerful background. Could he have relied on his own understanding? Li Xiong dared not believe his own speculation. Very good. Help me now. Watch carefully. Merge all the power into the Golden Core. Only then will you have a chance of ascending. Is this true? There are so many of you here. If I lie to you, wouldn't I be seeking death? You're right. I believe you. Li Xiong was eager to ascend, and with all the favorable conditions before him, he really did not believe that Yi Chen could do anything. Li Xiong channeled all his origin power into the Golden Core ruler and cooperated with Yi Chen to fight against the tribulation cloud. Immortal demon power, go! Yi Chen's body bloomed with supreme-grade, demonic patterns, and at the same time, he activated his psionic foundation. Immediately, the immortal demon power rushed out and went straight for Li Xiong. How? How can he control the immortal demon power? How on earth did he do it? When the human combatants saw Yi Chun release the immortal demon power so easily, their hearts were filled with mixed feelings. The person they mocked, the person they looked down on, had such power, far surpassing them. Ha ha ha, Yi Chun, it really works? Li Xiong laughed, and then, with a palm, he shattered the tribulation clouds. The power was so strong that he was like a war demon. Hiss, hiss, hiss. At the same time, the immortal demon power poured into the golden core ruler. Since everything is done, it's time to settle the score. Chapter 1920. Settle the score? Ha ha ha. Accompanied by arrogant laughter, Li Xiong flew up. The demonic energy in his body was wild, like a beast breaking out of its cage. His powerful aura shocked the demons. Li Xiong, your strength. Ha ha, of course. I'm an ascension powerhouse now. These people have to die. Li Xiong turned around to look at Yi Chun and the others. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He wanted to intimidate everyone. He wanted everyone to see how powerful he was. He wanted those humans to kneel on the ground and accept his judgment. Yi Chun, what do you want to settle the score? He turned to look at Yi Chun. The golden core in Li Xiong's chest was constantly glowing. Powerful demonic energy and spiritual energy were circulating in it. Li Xiong was a super powerhouse who cultivated both immortal and demonic cultivation. Li Xiong, what are you talking about? Just kill him. Someone from the demon clan suggested. Haha, what's the hurry? This person is the one who helped me overcome the ascension tribulation. Of course, I have to treat him well. Li Xiong's eyes were filled with murderous intent and cruelty. He looked like he wanted to kill Yi Chun. Yi Chun, that idiot. He's finally caught in his own trap. What an idiot. If he attacked just now, we might have a chance to live. Now, we're all going to die here. It's all his fault. Damn trash. The human powerhouses gritted their teeth. They seemed to have a deep hatred for Yi Chun. Meanwhile, Yi Chun stood alone. The corner of his lips curled up slightly. He did not care at all. He cared about the people important to him. He treated these trash like ants. It's rare to see someone as naive as you. You don't really think I'll let you go and help you find the treasure, do you? Ha ha ha, you're too stupid. Li Xiong sneered at Yi Chun. His eyes were filled with excitement, as if he had seen the most delicious prey. Let me go. Since when did I need you to let me go? Stupid? Since when did I think you'd help me find the treasure? Yi Chun sneered. This time, it was Li Xiong's turn to be dumbfounded. What did you say? Li Xiong's eyes widened as he looked at Yi Chun. If you didn't think that I would help you find the treasure, why would you help me pass the tribulation? You possess the power of the immortal devil. You are the best delicacy for me. Ha ha ha. Beg for my forgiveness. I will give you a quick death. Ha. There was a strange gleam in Yi Chun's eyes. His laughter became extremely terrifying. It was an extremely cold and terrifying laughter that could penetrate one's soul. I've said it before. We'll settle the score. As for why I helped you, you'll find out soon enough. I'm a tribulation transcending expert right now. And yet you're talking to me like that? What are you trying to do? You're dead, human. In the face of such powerful might, Yi Chun seemed to be mocking him. Li Xiong was completely enraged. He could not accept Yi Chun's attitude. He did not care what Yi Chun was thinking, whether he was a lunatic or a fool. He wanted to tear the person before him apart and make him submit completely. Kill. The golden core in Li Xiong's chest emitted a powerful light. Li Xiong, who had the power of the immortal demon, rushed towards Yi Chun. Sai, he's dead. The human powerhouses were certain that Yi Chun was dead because Li Xiong's cultivation had broken through. Even Yuchi Fengyun was no match for him. He had the ability to crush everyone present. Ha ha ha, human idiots. Now you know the power of the demon clan, right? You want to get treasures from us? Dream on. We control the immortal spell formation. We no longer need your psionic power. Only death awaits you. Many of the demon clan powerhouses revealed ugly faces. They did not see the humans as humans at all. They saw them as animals, as food. Many of the demon clan powerhouses even revealed the excitement of hunger. When Li Xiong killed Yi Chun, they would start eating. Zhou Yufeng and the others revealed a look of horror. Now that there was a demon clan formation underground to trap their movements, and no one was a match for Li Xiong, their fate was clear. On the battlefield, Li Xiong attacked Yi Chun. The humans shook their heads. Kill! Li Xiong revealed a sinister smile like a hunter as he charged. He was about to test his blade on Yi Chun. Whoosh! Suddenly, the corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up. His eyes had a smile that dominated everything. It felt like everything was going according to his plan, and everything was under his control. Impossible. What does he mean by smiling like that? He shouldn't smile like that in the face of death. Why is he smiling like that? Li Xiong could not understand the meaning of Yi Chen's expression at all. He was very confused. No, the surrounding space. Soon, Li Xiong sensed that the surrounding space had become extremely slow. He did not know what was going on. He looked at Yi Chun, who was already walking toward him. He was supposed to be the one charging. He should be right in front of Yi Chun and kill him. However, what he saw was that he seemed to be frozen. Instead, Yi Chun was walking toward him. Such a strange scene caused Li Xiong to fall into a state of extreme shock. Li Xiong, who had just broken through to the tribulation stage and thought that he was invincible, had fallen into the terror that Yi Chun had created. Ah! He roared, trying to break through the predicament before him. Although immortal demon power was powerful, it was nothing before the ancient god space. Li Xiong, how do you feel now? How does it feel to have your fate controlled by someone else? Yi Chen's footsteps seemed slow, but the feeling was too terrifying when he was right in front of him. Yi Chun was like a god while he was just a lamb on the chopping board. Yi, what's going on? Li Xiong squeezed out a few words because it had become difficult for him to even speak. The muscles in his mouth could not be controlled at all. Ha, that's what I want. Yi Chun walked over openly and stood before Li Xiong. The surrounding space was still so strange. He could not move. Even the simplest and fastest thinking became slow and stiff. Tap, tap, tap. Yi Chun's footsteps kept ringing in his ears. Each sound was like the bell of the Grim Reaper. No. Li Xiong, who thought that he was invincible, had become the most vulnerable person at this moment. Chi! Accompanied by the sound of piercing and cutting, Yi Chun stretched out his hand and directly took out the golden pill from Li Xiong's chest. Puffed. Blood spurted out like a pillar. Li Xiong's life was mercilessly flowing away. Yi Chun was like a king on the battlefield alone. In his hand was the golden pill that was dripping with blood. Ha ha ha! The one who controlled everything was the heavenly emperor. Ah! Yi Chun shouted in a deep voice. The golden pill hovered in the air, and the time dragon appeared behind him. Roar! With a roar, the golden pill was absorbed into Yi Chun's body. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Lightning flashed, and immortal demon power surged. Yi Chun's foundation soared again. Chapter 1921. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Suddenly, the surrounding space rule restriction was lifted, shattering like a mirror before everyone's eyes. Oh, what just happened? Many demon powerhouses looked at everything before them in shock. They saw Li Xiong standing where he was in a daze, blood spurting from his chest. He had already lost all signs of life. Li Xiong, that's impossible. They cannot accept the reality before them. How could a super powerhouse who had broken through the Ascension Tribulation die so easily before everyone's eyes? Ignorance is your greatest sin. Yi Chun turned to look at everyone and said coldly. Everyone was shocked. They could not imagine that a conjoint body cultivator from the spirit stage could kill a Ascension Tribulation powerhouse in an instant without even breaking a sweat. This phenomenon was too unusual. No one believed it, but they had to believe it. This brat. Yuchi Fingyun's expression was twisted, completely shocked. Before this, he had relied on his cultivation base to see Yi Chun's actions. He saw with his own eyes that Yi Chun walked to Li Xiong, took out the pill, and fed it to the beast. Yuchi Fengyan, what did you see? The other's cultivation base was not high enough to see the truth. I saw it. Even Yuchi Fengyan was speechless from shock. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Just as the human race's experts were discussing, they heard the sound of something slicing through the air. The powerful spatial energy caused their bodies to tremble uncontrollably, as if they were being sliced by blades. This, Zhou Yufeng and the others were dumbfounded. Their bodies trembled incessantly. Blood rained down before them as a flying dagger circled in the air, emitting a cold light. Under the flying dagger were the corpses of the demons, all decapitated. Tap, tap, tap. At this moment, the sound of cold footsteps approached the crowd of humans, like the tolling of death knell. What are you doing? Yuchi Fengyun asked angrily. I told you it's time to settle the score. Yichen's expression was extremely cold. There was no emotion at all. The absolute majesty of martial Dao made the human powerhouses kneel on the ground. They didn't want to kneel either, but the might of a heavenly emperor wasn't something they could resist, especially when half of their bodies had already been absorbed by the demonic artifacts, and there was still the demonic energy array underground to soothe their psionic energy. However, Yichun did not feel any of this at all. He was an immortal and demonic dual cultivator to begin with. Demonic abilities could trap these human clan combatants, but it could not trap him. He's not human. Look, he's not restricted by any rules. Even the great magic array is useless against him. He's a demon. This person is an abnormal demon. Damn it. Stop right there, lowly spirit realm cultivator. Even at the brink of death, these people were still so arrogant, not knowing what respect was. They only wanted to satisfy their own selfish desires, completely forgetting the true meaning of martial arts. You didn't cherish the chance I gave you. As expected, the result won't change. Yichen raised his right hand high. You want to kill us? In the end, Yuchi Fengyun lowered his noble head and feigned a terrified expression. Is there still a need for you to survive? You have to pay the price for your own actions. Yichen's eyes were filled with cold, killing intent that pierced through Yuchi Fengyun's heart. No, you can't kill us. We're human geniuses. Just like you, we're together. Together? What a joke. Yichun waved his sword finger. Instantly, a powerful sword aura charged over. Whoosh! Yuchi Fengyun relied on his strong foundation to dodge the fatal blow. However, one of the geniuses behind him was not so lucky. Swoosh! The sword gleam flashed, and a bloody mark appeared on that person's throat. He covered his throat with both hands. Then, the sword chi burst forth, and he died on the spot. The remaining human geniuses were dumbfounded. They looked at Yichun with pleading eyes. Yichun, why you're a genius. I, Zhou Yufeng, admire you. Please let me go. Yichun, I, Huolin Long, am willing to use my life to guarantee that I'll recommend you to the Spirit Emperor as the #1 genius in the spirit realm when I return. Yichun, we're all trash. You're a genius. Please let us go. The arrogant geniuses were now kneeling on the ground and begging Yichun. Only Yuchi Fengyun was still standing there, stubbornly resisting. Are you all stupid? He won't let us go. Stand up, stand up. He kept shouting at the geniuses, but they did not listen to him. They were still kneeling on the ground and begging. Yuchi Fengyun, it seems like you're really stubborn. All right, I'll start with you. Yichun waved his sword finger. With a burst of light, the Heavenly Emperor sword appeared. Whoosh! Holding the Heavenly Emperor sword, Yichun walked toward Yuchi Fengyun as the blade drew sparks on the ground. Do you think I'll be afraid? I'm a powerhouse who's about to go through the tribulation. Who do you think you are? You're just a piece of spirit stage trash. Yuchi Fengyun channeled his spiritual power, wanting to attack first. Thud, thud, thud. He took a few steps forward and charged at Yichun in a frenzy. Yichen's movements did not change at all, as if he did not see him. Yuchi Fengyun seemed to see hope in his actions. He thought that Yichun was being too careless. He was courting death. Meanwhile, the people kneeling on the ground were equally shocked when they saw this scene. Yichun did not put up any defense, and was even continuing to move forward. Such an action was completely suicidal. If he died, it would be a good thing for everyone to be saved together. Thinking to this point, these fence-sitters stood up one after another, ready to wait for Yichen's death. Whoosh! However, just as Yuchi Fengyun's figure arrived before Yichen's figure dashed past him in a flash. No one saw clearly how he attacked. Most of them even thought that Yi Chun did not use his sword. What's going on? Did senior brother Feng Yin succeed? A genius asked weakly. No, that's not right. Huo Linlong shouted. He roughly saw the truth. Yu Qi Fengyun's head had already appeared in Yi Chen's hand. However, Yi Chen's hand was behind his back, so no one saw it. Everyone was shocked. Their knees went weak, and they knelt on the ground subconsciously. Thud, thud, thud. The three of them knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing. People without dignity, you don't have the right to live. A murderous look appeared in Yi Chen's eyes. He tossed Yu Qi Fengyun's head high and swung the Heavenly Emperor sword. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 streaks of blood splattered on the ground. As the 3 heads flew, everything was over. Into this chapter, Chapter 1922. Whoosh. Yi Chen sheathed his sword. Everything had gone according to plan. Z. The immortal demon golden pill that had been devoured by Yi Chen's body kept emitting rays of light, enveloping Yi Chen's entire body in the immortal demon power. He sat cross-legged in the air, and the raging dragon of space-time appeared behind him. Roar! With a furious roar, the psionic energy and demonic energy of the dead immortal demon fighters were absorbed by Nu Huang, becoming a part of Yi Chen's foundation. This was helping Yi Chen to refine the golden immortal pill. I really didn't expect that the demon realm's ruler would be able to refine such an exquisite golden core. This has helped me a lot. Yi Chen was secretly amazed by this golden pill. The value of this golden pill far surpassed the so-called secret cave treasures. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Suddenly, the immortal demon golden core in Yi Chen's body emitted a repulsive force. Yi Chen's brows furrowed as he immediately realized that there was a restriction in the golden core. Sinister indeed. This was the restriction that the ruler of the demon realm had placed in the golden core to prevent others from obtaining the power of the golden core and refining it. You want to stop me with such a scheme? Yi Chen sneered in his heart, then activated the ancient god power in his body. Boom! The ancient god power burst forth, swimming in his meridians like a real dragon, flying into his gold core. Z. Under the impact of the ancient god's power, the golden core's defenses were instantly broken, and demonic energy scattered in all directions. Roar! Inside Yi Chen's body, the Pandora demon dragon was trying to destroy Yi Chen's chi hai. Impudent! Yi Chen snorted. His ancient god power turned into a true dragon and fought with the demon dragon in his body. Boom, boom, boom. Even the meridian channels of those undergoing the ascension ordeal would not be able to withstand such a powerful burst of energy. However, with his ancient god body, Yi Chen did not care at all. Instead, he regarded this as a test and training for his ancient god body. This battle was very intense. After all, this golden core was refined by the devil realm's ruler, so the natural order within it was very high level. Only Yi Chen, who was at the conjoint body stage, could resist it. The others had long since died under the demon dragon's roar. Roar! The true dragon and the demonic dragon were on the verge of erupting. Due to the powerful explosion of energy, an alternate dimension was formed in Yi Chen's body. Oh! Yi Chen looked inside himself and discovered this strange space. This was an extremely dangerous situation because the alternate dimension could completely tear a human body apart. However, Yi Chen saw another possibility, which was the possibility of attaining spatial rule. If I want to become an immortal, then I must comprehend the Tao of heaven and earth, and the Tao of space is one of them. Since I have such an opportunity, how can I miss it? Yi Chen smiled faintly. His entire body shone with ancient god light. Using his powerful ancient god body, he forcefully resisted the fierce battle between the true dragon and demonic ability. Boom! The battle in the strange dimension inside of him was like heaven and earth being turned upside down. Lightning flashed and thunder rolled. The devil dragon displayed its might, transforming into the image of a ruler. The true dragon shone with light as it formed the body of an ancient god. Z. Yi Chen's primordial spirit left his body and entered the alternate space in his body. The dangerous environment in the alternate dimension made one feel uneasy. Countless demonic flames burned, continuously corroding Yi Chen's body and blood vessels. Z. Yi Chen's figure appeared above the true dragon's head, like a heavenly emperor descending. Lord of the demonic world, how dare you act so presumptuously in this emperor's body? Yi Chen questioned the demon dragon. Oh, the demon dragon revealed an amused smile. Following that, a cloud of black mist appeared above the dragon's head and evolved into the appearance of the Lord of the demonic world. I didn't think that the immortal demon I refined was so simple. In the end, it fell into your hands. This is the will of the heavens. Why struggle? Ha ha ha. Hearing this, the Lord of the demonic world laughed wildly. He was a supreme ruler. In his eyes, the person before him was merely a small human cultivator who had just entered the fusion stage. He did not care about him at all. I advise you to return the golden core to Li Xiong. Otherwise, I'll make your internal organs explode and you die. Return it to Li Xiong. That's right. This emperor wants to return it, but I'm afraid he doesn't have the ability to accept it anymore. You, the Lord of the demonic world, immediately realized the problem. Li Xiong was most likely dead. How hateful! The Lord of the demonic world roared. The demon dragon roared, shaking the entire space. Yi Chen, how dare you kill a prodigy of the demon clan? Today, I'll make you bleed to death. Ha ha! Lowly demon, you have no right to speak in front of the heavenly emperor. Yi Chen laughed maniacally. He mobilized the ancient god power and formed 8 dragons to attack. Roar! The true dragons roared. 8 dragon power attacked at the same time, turning into 8 giant dragons that circled around the Lord of the demonic world. Damn it! Why is this person so powerful? This doesn't make sense. At that point, the Sovereign Lord's Divine will realize that something was off. A puny body integration cultivator was like an ant to him, and he should have been able to kill him with ease. And yet, this person's power was suppressing his devilish energy. That was very suspicious. Don't doubt it. Die. Yi Chen did not have time to talk. With a wave of his hand, the 8 giant dragons swallowed at the same time. D***. Although the Lord of the demonic world was using divine psyche, he mobilized the power of the golden core to fight against the 8 giant dragons. Boom, boom, boom. Demonic energy and spiritual power collided again, sending out continuous shockwaves. Why isn't your body exploding? The Lord of the demonic psyche world could not understand what was happening and asked loudly, Explode? How could such a small force make me explode? Now it's time to end this. Yi Chen's eyes glowed. The true samadhi fire burned continuously in the strange space. 8 dragon power instantly soared 100 times. No, that's impossible. The Lord of the demonic psyche world still could not believe that he had been defeated by a fusion stage cultivator. Die! Yi Chen gave the final verdict. The 8 fire dragons erupted with true samadhi fire, instantly extinguishing the Lord of the demonic psyche world. Ark! With a scream, the Lord of the demonic psyche world entered his demonic energy body, trying to fight back. However, it was useless. The ancient god power combined with the true samadhi fire purified everything. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The demonic energy dissipated and everything returned to normal. After this battle, Yi Chen's ancient god body had matured. In the outside world, Yi Chen opened his eyes. His entire body erupted with power, and a huge fire burned the surrounding space. The corpses on the ground were instantly engulfed in a sea of fire and turned into smoke. 8 Gates Divine Disc. After completing the Death Gate mission, Yi Chen took out the 8 Gates Divine Disc. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The 8 Gates Divine Disc spun continuously, changing and showing countless paths forward. The creator of this secret realm is quite capable. It seems that if I want to find the truth, I'll have to find the right path. Yi Chen stared at the 8 Gates Divine Disc in the air, and countless paths of information flowed into his mind. Relying on his powerful mind power, Yi Chen began to analyze the various possibilities before him. The 8 gates reinforce and counteract each other, even evolving into the 8 trigrams pattern. This is not just a magic tool, but also a profound martial art. End of this chapter. Chapter 1923. Through the 8-gate divine disc, Yi Chun could sense the hidden essence of martial arts within it. Moreover, he realized that the 8-gate divine disc might not have been refined by the creator of this secret cave. Instead, it might have been brought into this secret cave by the creator, hoping to use the 8-gate divine disc to block the path of many prodigies. It was a test for them. Now, the creator might not have expected Yi Chun to obtain the divine disc. Yi Chun could not figure out the origin of the exquisite martial art that appeared in the divine disc at a glance. Could it be that the truth lies within the 8 divine discs? Yi Chun could not help but think of this because the ingenuity of this spirit disc was far more powerful than the immortal demon power in this secret cave. He was sure that the creator of this secret cave was indeed proficient in both immortal and demonic cultivation. However, this disc was definitely not something that could be controlled by a simple immortal or demonic cultivator. Relying on his superior vision as a heavenly Dharch, Yi Chun began to comprehend the intricate formations and vein patterns within the godly disc. These runes might seem simple, but the laws and true intents contained within them were indescribable. This was something that could only be understood and not explained. Z. The 8 gates divine discs continued to revolve in the sky, emitting a strange golden light. Yi Chun's eyes were locked onto these lights. All sorts of information was transmitted into his mind through his golden pupil flame. Now that he had cultivated the ancient god body, Yi Chun's brain had also changed. In addition to the power of the space-time roar, he could already open up an alternate space in his mind. This was extremely dangerous and difficult at the same time. If not for the ancient god body's super recovery ability, even Yi Chun would find it difficult to do this. Cultivating an alternate dimension in his mind, the circulation and exchange of spiritual power were all under Yi Chun's control. He could do as he pleased. Z. All sorts of information entered Yi Chun's mind and was analyzed by divine telekinesis and psionic power. In this way, Yi Chun's ability to process information might be on par with someone of the same cultivation base, which was very terrifying. All the patterns and details in the divine disc were projected into this alternate space through the golden pupil's flame. Yi Chun saw it more clearly than anyone else. This is a divine inscription. After a lot of analysis, Yi Chun suddenly realized that these patterns had the characteristics of divine veins. Divine inscriptions were the primeval martial arts that Yi Chun had studied as a heavenly Dharch a long time ago. He did not expect to see it here. A smile appeared at the corner of Yi Chun's lips. It was quite a surprise. 8 gates divine plates, divine inscriptions, ha ha! The might of a celestial Dharch surged in all directions. The divine disc responded and released even more divine patterns. The complexity of these divine veins was many times greater than the divine veins from before. This piqued Yi Chun's interest. Z. At this moment, waves of immortal demonic force assaulted Yi Chun. It was precisely because Yi Chun was no longer restricted by the demon tribes Li Xiong and the others that the immortal demonic power in the space now automatically targeted Yi Chun. Mixed immortal and demonic immortal, golden core power. Yi Chun released the power of the immortal demon golden pill. As the power of the golden pill was refined to deal with the immortal demon invasion in the secret cave, the effect was excellent. After stabilizing the immortal demonic energy in the secret cave, Yi Chun continued to study the 8-gate divine disc. As more divine patterns appeared on the divine disc, Yi Chun even began to understand the meaning of these divine patterns. A long time ago, he had already made great progress in his research. Thus, when he saw the divine disc this time, all kinds of information fused together, and inspiration flashed through his mind. Z. The divine disc suddenly released a golden light toward the sky. Following that, all kinds of words appeared on the divine disc. Yi Chun carefully observed these words. They were completely different from ordinary words and extremely difficult to understand. However, He could completely feel the superpower contained in these words. Could this be divine power? In the process of studying the divine veins, Yi Chun had sensed the existence of divine power. However, at that time, his cultivation base was too high, so his ability to understand was naturally more powerful than it was now. He could rely on the void divine veins to study. Now, however, the divine veins appeared in front of him, causing Yi Chun to enter a different state of research. Now, although he had not recovered the celestial Thearcha's might, that grand vision was already clear in his heart. Z. The golden pupil flame transmitted all kinds of information into the thought alternate space. The various appearances and energy forms of these divine veins were all recorded. Words that could make Yi Chun, a celestial Thearch, so important were naturally not trivial. As all kinds of words entered the thought alternate space, Yi Chun found that the thought alternate space that he had created in his mind was in danger of overloading. He did not expect that just a few simple divine veins could cause such fluctuations in his thought alternate space. Rumble. At the same time, for some reason, the immortal and demonic power in the surrounding space began to lose balance. All kinds of formations were triggered and attacked Yi Chun continuously. Yi Chun's eyes turned cold. He put away the divine disc, then released the celestial Thearch sword spirit and the immortal slaying flying dagger. Watch us! The immortal slaying flying dagger took the lead and slashed in all directions. In an instant, countless formations were broken by the flying dagger. Meanwhile, the celestial Thearch sword spirit floated above Yi Chun's head. Any power that wanted to attack Yi Chun was shattered by the sword spirit. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sword chi swept across, shattering the void. Countless formations were shattered. At the same time, the trapping formation in front was also broken by the immortal slaying flying dagger. Yi Chun strode away. He left the death gate and returned to the 8 gates. Previously, Yi Chun had found the 8 gates divine disc here. Now that he had returned, Yi Chun hoped to see more hidden information. The place where he had taken out the divine disc was still there. Yi Chun walked over and gently touched the soil with his hand. He did not find any obvious abnormalities. It was obvious that the 8 gates divine disc's influence on the surrounding environment might be even more mysterious. Since I want to find the truth, I'll let you tell me. Yi Chun released the divine disc again. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The divine disc flew up and released golden light. Everywhere the golden light went, all kinds of reflections suddenly appeared. Yi Chun's cold eyes locked on those reflections and observed confidently. After some analysis, he found that there was information hidden in these reflections. 8 gates open, divine power barrier. Soon, Yi Chun read the information from those reflections. What's a divine power barrier? Yi Chun thought about this question and combined it with the divine inscriptions on the 8 gates divine disc. He had a bold guess. Could the creator of this secret cave be the 8 gates divine disc found in the divine power barrier? Thinking of this, Yi Chun was even more determined to open the divine power barrier. He released ancient god power and infused powerful spiritual energy into the divine disc. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The divine disc continued to spin, its power increasing and its energy growing stronger. Above the divine disc, a vague spatial door appeared. End of this chapter. Chapter 1924. Yi Chun lifted his head to look as the dimensional door slowly opened. From the spatial door, Yi Chun sensed a powerful, special energy. It was not psionic power or Pandora demon power, but a very holy energy. It might be the divine power that he had detected a long time ago. Will the secret that I couldn't solve before be solved here? This was something Yi Chun did not expect. Back then, he had better resources and conditions than now, but he could not solve the secret. Now, the truth seemed to be right before him. It was a strange feeling. Yi Chun did not act blindly. Instead, he set up a powerful formation around him to protect the barrier before him. Logically speaking, Li Xiong, Yu Chi Fengyun, and the rest had been killed, so there should be no one here. However, Yi Chun had always been cautious. Moreover, There was the impact of the immortal and demonic power. If there was an energy imbalance, he might not even be able to return to the modern realm. Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit. Yi Chun pointed his sword at the sky. Immediately, the silhouette of the Heavenly Emperor appeared behind Yi Chun. After that, the Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit rose into the sky and covered the entire 8-door space. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Seeing that the Heavenly Emperor's sword formation was completed, Yi Chun's eyes locked onto the spatial door. After many tests, he discovered that the spatial door's deconstruction was very sturdy. If that's the case, let me see what's in this space. Yi Chun was determined. He turned into a ray of light and flew into the spatial door. Rumble. After entering the spatial door, what greeted Yi Chun was not some mythical immortal realm. Instead, it was endless thunder and lightning that shook the space. However, Yi Chun was already prepared for any situation. This was nothing to him. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Chun sped, dodging thunder and lightning many times, and arrived above the clouds. The environment here was much better. The thunder and lightning all happened under the clouds, and there were rays of sunlight here. Yi Chun walked on the cloud path, and suddenly saw a towering ancient tree ahead. He looked at the ancient tree and found that there seemed to be someone on it. Such a strange scene surprised Yi Chun. He slowly walked toward the ancient tree. "You're here!" At that moment, a voice rang out, making Yi Chun stop. The pleasant sound of a tuning fork echoed in his ears. Then, a rainbow flew up, and the surrounding space fell into a riot of colors. Yi Chun did not care about the scene before him changing. Instead, he looked at the figure on the ancient tree. Who is here? What is this place? Yi Chun's sonorous voice echoed throughout the place. He was sure that the person could hear him. This is a divine power barrier. The fact that you're able to enter means that you are a fated person. Fated person? I don't like this answer. Profound Sky Holy Emperor, whether you like it or not, since you've come here, you're destined to gain something. Yi Chun frowned when he heard that name. The mysterious Heaven Holy Emperor was one of the titles of the Celestial Emperors. It contained the Celestial Emperor's understanding of the heavenly Tao. He didn't expect this person to know about it. Who are you? How do you know the name of the profound Heaven Divine Emperor? How can a mortal understand the matter of divine power? Ha ha ha. Deliberately mystifying things won't make you look superior. Facing the mysterious man, Yi Chun had no scruples at all. This was heaven's dignity. Extraordinary people are destined to encounter extraordinary things. The road back is long and full of obstacles. You still haven't answered my question. Who are you? I'm just a lost person who came here. Perhaps we're here to answer each other's questions. As he spoke, the person raised his hand, and a divine sigil floated in the air. Divine sigil. Yi Chun retreated quickly. He knew very well that the power of the divine sigil was not to be underestimated. It seemed to be harmless, but in reality, it was extremely destructive. It was very likely that he would unknowingly fall into the other person's trap. Naturally, Yi Chun didn't trust the person before him. What do you think of seeing such a divine sigil? Are you from the divine realm? I'm no longer one. You're no longer one? Does that mean you were in the past? Why ask so many things from the past? Deliberately mystifying things to make me hesitate so that I can't make the right judgment. Is this your plan? Since you know the name of the profound Sky Holy Emperor, you must be someone I've met. Oh, hearing this, the person smiled slightly as if he was interested in Yi Chun's judgment. Then who am I? Just as you said, I don't need to know your identity. Since you said that I'm fated, then what I want is simple. The power of the divine sigil. Ha ha ha. Hearing this, the person laughed a few times. No problem. I'll tell you all the power of the divine sigil. This is a paradise of divine sigil. Only the most talented have the right to succeed. The person stretched out his hand and pointed at the sky. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Instantly, countless divine sigil floated out and surrounded Yi Chun. What does this mean? Only by unlocking these divine sigil will you have a chance to explore further. Sensing the power of the divine sigil around him, Yi Chun knew that he was still trapped in the other person's divine sigil formation. If he did not break the formation in front of him now, It would be impossible for him to leave. Ah, if this is a test for me, I'll accept. Yichen had long been interested in divine inscriptions, and he also had the experience of studying them. If he could obtain more divine inscriptions from this divine power barrier, or even obtain some clues to unlock the 8 gates heavenly disk, this trip would not have been in vain. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Countless divine sigil surrounded Yi Chun like Buddha shackles. It was very magical. Yi Chun condensed his sword energy and pointed at the divine sigil. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In an instant, the sword energy disappeared and the divine sigil did not move. What a powerful force. Since psionic energy is useless against you, let's try demonic energy. Demonic sigil bloomed all over Yi Chen's body. Demonic energy soared into the sky and turned into a sharp demonic energy sword, descending toward the divine sigil. Clang! The sword pointed at the light of the divine sigil, trying to break the divine sigil. However, the divine sigil was indestructible, rendering the demonic energy sword ineffective. It's so easy to forcefully break the formation. Dark Sky, Holy Emperor, aren't you underestimating the way of divine sigil? Are you mocking me? I wouldn't dare, but if you want to get out of here, your effort is still far from enough. The person looked unhappy, as if he was disappointed by Yi Chen's speed of breaking the formation. However, Yi Chen was a powerful person. He could tell at a glance that the person was not really concerned about his speed of breaking the formation, but something else. Seeing that it was meaningless to forcefully break the formation, Yi Chen sat cross-legged in the void and began to meditate. The divine sigil continued to emit golden light, trapping Yi Chen. It was difficult for him to even move. Therefore, it was not a bad idea to stop him by remaining still. Previously, the person had said that only the most talented could get out of here. Perhaps the real way to break the divine sigil was to comprehend it. Chapter 1925. Sitting cross-legged in the divine pattern formation, Yi Chen entered a state of enlightenment. This was a long process. Yi Chen gradually lost the concept of time, but he found it difficult to enter the divine pattern world. Why does the divine pattern force reject my enlightenment? Yi Chen gradually discovered this problem, and this was the key to everything. Once he could not immerse himself in the divine pattern world, it was equivalent to being in 2 worlds without communication. It was almost impossible to understand such a complicated and high-level divine pattern barrier. The mysterious man sat on the lotus platform and looked at Yi Chen. How many surprises can you give me? This is your chance. Isn't it also my chance? The mysterious man seemed to have high expectations for Yi Chen, but his melancholy face seemed to say that he had experienced countless failures and the person in front of him was only one of them. The two entered a state of meditation at the same time, and the mysterious man entered enlightenment. In Yi Chen's state of consciousness, everything was so confused and chaotic. It was as if he had entered a void universe and could not find any light. The seemingly bright starlight was so far away. I'm a heavenly emperor. How can such a problem trap me? Yi Chen's eyes emitted starlight, as if he could see through everything. To understand the divine pattern barrier, one had to break through the limits of thinking. Ordinary methods were impossible. In that case, let me enter the same state as you. Yi Chen relied on the ancient god power and released the heavenly emperor's secret technique. He turned his primordial spirit into an energy form and entered the divine pattern formation. Rumble! Within the divine pattern barrier, countless powerful thunderbolts exploded and tore. All kinds of unimaginable horror were going on. Yi Chen entered and instantly entered a dangerous situation. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The divine pattern world sensed Yi Chen's invasion and instantly triggered the divine pattern thunder to bombard Yi Chen. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Yi Chen's figure instantly disappeared and appeared somewhere else. The original place was completely shattered. Entering the divine pattern world, Yi Chen activated the golden pupil flame and observed everything around him. All kinds of information entered his mind, and at the same time, he activated the thought space to analyze. In a world of divine inscriptions, this information was much clearer and easier to understand. In addition to Yi Chen's Heavenly Emperor stage comprehension ability, all sorts of divine veins continuously entered his mind, evolving and recombining. Very soon, not only did he comprehend many of the profound divine veins, but he could even use his own strength to recombine these divine veins into a new method of operation. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the void, the divine lightning struck again. Ah, come on then. With a wave of Yi Chen's hand, the divine veins were released. A gale raged, and the world changed. Boom! Under the powerful counterattack of the divine glyph hurricane, the divine lightning dissipated, unable to harm Yi Chen at all. I see. Yi Chen smiled and stood up, standing in the divine inscription world. He was no longer restricted, and had instead become the ruler of this world. With a wave of his hand, countless divine runes started to gather towards his body. They were all absorbed and refined by him. ZZZ. The celestial of the arch-sword spirit appeared in his hand. After that, divine patterns were attached to it. With the enhancement of divine power, the celestial of the arch-sword broke through its limits and evolved again. Celestial of the arch-sword, heaven and earth slash. With one slash, the entire divine inscription formation shattered in the air. The mysterious man opened his eyes and looked in Yi Chen's direction in disbelief. How is this possible? Back then, it took me a whole month to break this divine inscription formation. How did he do it in less than 2 hours? His eyes widened as he watched Yi Chen get up. You, how is it? Your divine inscription formation doesn't seem to be much. Hearing that, the mysterious man looked angry, but he did not flare up. His goal was not to become Yi Chen's enemy. In fact, it was a good thing for him that Yi Chen could break this divine inscription formation so quickly. Ha ha, very good, very good. Oh, Yi Chen did not understand what was going on with the person in front of him, but he was happy that his formation had been broken. However, this is just the beginning. What do you mean? Looking at the mysterious man's strange smile, Yi Chen felt that the situation might not be as good as he had imagined. It might even be worse. What I mean is continue. The mysterious man's eyes turned cold. Suddenly, a Tier 2 divine inscription formation was activated around Yi Chen. Hiss. Yi Chen wanted to retreat from the formation, but he could not do it. The divine inscription covered too quickly, and it was formed by the convergence of super strong divine power. It was almost impossible to break through it by relying on spiritual power or demonic ability. In the face of such a complicated situation, Yi Chen's thinking was also speeding up. He immediately thought of using the divine inscription sword technique to slash through the predicament before him. However, he had miscalculated because the other party was using the power of the Tier 2 divine inscription. He was only using the Tier 1 divine inscription, so he could not resist it. Hiss. Soon, Yi Chen was once again trapped in the formation. Ha ha ha. In the outside world, the mysterious man laughed loudly, as if he was applauding and cheering for his divine inscription formation. Once again trapped in the divine inscription formation, Yi Chen used the same trick. His primordial spirit turned into a body of energy and entered the divine inscription world. This time, in the Tier 2 divine inscription world, golden light flashed, dazzling and holy. Here, Yi Chen felt as if he had entered a golden castle. Everything here was made of gold. This was a world of gold. Yi Chen condensed his sword finger and added the power of the divine inscription to it. He pointed at the high wall. Hiss! The sword energy rushed out and pierced the high wall. Hiss. However, the sword energy did not react at all. It directly sank into the wall, as if it was absorbed by the wall. Yi Chen understood that the world before him was completely different from before. It was more complicated and more difficult. The divine inscription casts everything. This is the law of creation. Yi Chen, can you understand the true meaning of it? The mysterious man's golden mask appeared on the high wall, revealing a mocking smile. Don't be so smug. These are not worth mentioning in my eyes. Anyone can boast. What I need is results. This is a test for you. You have no choice. I don't want to see your face. Yi Chen sneered. The heavenly, the arch sword spirit appeared again and slashed out. With the support of the powerful ancient god power, the golden mask on the high wall was shattered on the spot. In the outside world, the mysterious man's spirit was shocked by the ancient god power and revealed a shocked expression. How is this possible? His sword energy can hurt my spirit. The mysterious man began to reconsider Yi Chen. In the golden world, this sword made Yi Chen realize that even in the face of the divine inscription world, the ancient god power was still effective. Chapter 1926. This time around, the world of divine inscriptions was 100 times more complicated than the previous one, and its attack power had also increased. So all of this was your scheme? What exactly do you want to do? What is the purpose of testing me like this? In the face of the mysterious man's continuous tests, Yi Chen fell into deep thought. Transforming into an energy form, he used a first-level divine imprint to disguise himself, allowing himself to enter a state of equilibrium. Only by fusing with this world would he be able to avoid being attacked. He's trying to test me so actively. There must be something fishy behind this. Yi Chen was certain that the mysterious person in front of him had some kind of mission. Perhaps it was to test the people who entered the divine inscription barrier. If what the mysterious man said was true, that the test was endless and this was just the beginning, then things would be troublesome. When Yi Chen entered the divine inscription barrier, the 8 gates divine discs were still spinning outside. If something unexpected happened, would he never be able to leave this world? Various dangers appeared before Yi Chen. Even someone as arrogant as him had to deal with them cautiously. What's the point of thinking about it? I might as well break the formation directly. Yi Chen's eyes widened as he channeled ancient god power in his hands. Z. At the same time, the first-level divine inscriptions revolved, strengthening the might of the ancient god energy. Soon, Yi Chen realized that the divine veins had enhanced the ancient god power far more than ordinary psionic power. This meant that there must be a close connection between the divine veins and the ancient god power. Heavenly, the arch sword. Yi Chen pointed his sword at the sky. The heavenly emperor's sword spirit reappeared with sword chi surrounding him. At the same time, with a loud shout, the shadow of an incomparably tall ancient god appeared behind him. Return. Yi Chen absorbed the power of the divine veins around him and entered the ancient god space. Surrounded by the ancient god power, these divine veins were restricted and could not cause any harm. This was a good opportunity for Yi Chen to study them. Based on his previous experience in cultivating the ancient god power, Yi Chen had a new understanding of these divine patterns. In the outside world, the mysterious man continued to observe Yi Chen's progress. He was the one who created the divine pattern trapping formation. Naturally, he could control Yi Chen's state in it. His primordial spirit actually entered the formation. Interesting. He kept pacing on the ground. He hoped that Yi Chen would break the formation as soon as possible because he wanted to release all the tests as soon as possible. Only then would he have a chance of leaving this place. This world is too irritating. I've been trapped here for too long. During this long period of time, the mysterious man unceasingly comprehended the power of divine inscriptions, raising his own strength. Although his strength had clearly increased, and his comprehension of divine inscriptions had also improved, it was impossible for him to comprehend any new divine inscriptions within 100 years. Third-level divine inscriptions was his limit. Do you really promise me that as long as he can break through the third-rank divine inscriptions grand formation, you will let me leave? Suddenly, the mysterious man shouted at the towering ancient tree in the distance. Gumu did not reply. This made the mysterious man even angrier. You aren't lying to me, are you? He ran in front of Gumu and looked at him coldly. Z. Suddenly, golden divine patterns appeared in front of the ancient tree. As long as he breaks the rank 3 formation, you can leave. Ha. The mysterious man suddenly laughed uproariously. Finally, he had obtained his answer. As long as Yi Chen broke the third-rank divine inscription formation, he would be free. Good, very good. He flew into the 9 heavens, laughing loudly to celebrate his day of freedom. Something's wrong. Suddenly, a thought flashed through his mind. Although this person is extremely talented, I only succeeded in breaking this third-ranked divine inscription formation after comprehending it for 100 years. How can he succeed today? Thinking of this, he finally understood how naive he was. Yi-chun could not possibly comprehend the third-ranked divine inscription formation in a day. This was absolutely impossible. He suddenly turned to look at Gumu and said angrily, "You're playing with me. You know that he can't possibly comprehend the third-ranked divine inscription formation in such a short period of time. In fact, he might not even be able to comprehend it in his lifetime. You want to kill him and trap me here, right?" Faced with such complaints, Gumu did not respond. Instead, a cold breeze blew past, piercing his bones. How hateful! The mysterious man flew down from the 9 heavens and punched the ground. Rumble! Dust flew everywhere and the mountain rocks cracked. The violent force was unstoppable. His strong foundation was undoubtedly revealed. However, in this world of divine inscriptions, he was as weak as an ant. I'm already a great perfection tribulation cultivator. Why am I still trapped here? The mysterious man asked angrily. Then, he continuously unleashed his divine abilities, aiming at the sky, trying to break out. However, everything was fake. It was impossible. He could only look at the divine inscription formation helplessly. His only hope was still Yi-chun. Dark Sky, Holy Emperor, it's all up to you now. You were a celestial emperor in the past. This information was all told by Gumu. However, to the mysterious man, this was all a trick play by Gumu. If this person was really a celestial emperor, why would he be trapped here? This painful thought almost caused the mysterious man to break down. Rumble! At this moment, suddenly, the ground shook and the space shattered. Yi-chun flew out. No, this is impossible. Seeing that the second-ranked divine inscription formation that he had worked so hard to comprehend had been broken so easily, the mysterious man shook his head. Yi-chun's speed was too exaggerated. Was this the difference brought about by talent? The formation has been broken. Now, tell me how to leave. Yi-chun looked at the mysterious man coldly. Ha ha ha. Faced with Yi-chun's question, the mysterious man laughed a few times and did not care at all. It's still too early to leave. Unless you break my ultimate divine inscription formation, I might help you. Where is your ultimate divine inscription formation? You should learn to respect me first. Yi-chun did not want to waste time at all, but the person before him was wasting his time. If you help me leave, I'll consider it. Consider? You think too highly of yourself. D****. The mysterious man's mental state had long since changed due to his vexed emotions. Seeing how arrogant Yi-chun was, and how he had even broken through the divine inscription grand formation that he had spent decades to comprehend, the mysterious man's pride had been severely hurt. He wanted revenge. Kill! The mysterious man shouted. A divine weapon in the shape of a spear appeared in his hand. He went straight for Yi-chun. Oh! Yi-chun smiled coldly. His figure flashed, and he attacked first. Clang! The divine weapons from both sides clashed, causing countless sparks to fly. Ha! Kid, if you really are the Dark Sky Holy Emperor, let me see your true abilities. Hearing this, Yi-chun realized that the person in front of him did not know his identity at all. He might have heard about it through other means. Even he did not believe this fact. Chapter 1927. Kill! The mysterious man's eyes were filled with killing intent. He spat out a divine rune, and instantly, the surrounding space fell into an illusory state. Faced with such a mysterious divine pattern, Yi-chun stood alone on the spot. So. The mysterious person's figure was illusory. Every time he moved, his tracks would be concealed by the divine rune barrier, allowing him to walk in the alternate space. Yi-chun, since you can't satisfy me, then die. Satisfied? I don't need to satisfy you. If you want to die, I'll help you. A mere conjoint body cultivator dares to boast so shamelessly? Damn it. The mysterious man suddenly appeared and attacked Yi-chun from behind. Whoosh! The cold blade carried the power to kill, wanting to kill in one strike. Clang! However, just when the cold blade was about to pierce Yi Chen's body, Yi Chen's right arm suddenly appeared behind him. Subsequently, he pointed with his sword. With a clanging sound, the powerful sword chi bounced off the mysterious man's attack. What? The mysterious man's heart trembled, and he took dozens of steps back. Damn it! His anger surged, and his attacks became even fiercer. Kill, kill, kill! At the three shouts, three shadows appeared at the same time and attacked Yi Chen. Insignificant skill. Yi Chen's eyes were glowing as the true samadhi fire surrounded him. At that moment, the two phantoms were burned by the true samadhi fire. They were revealed on the spot and turned into dust. This, just when the mysterious man was shocked, Yi Chen's sword chi had arrived. Chi. The sword chi brushed past the mysterious man's cheek, and a bloodstain appeared. Damn it! He did not expect to be forced to such an extent by a mere body integration cultivator. The mysterious man was furious. Immediately, the divine patterns on his body shone brightly and attacked Yi Chen continuously. Z. The speed at which the divine inscriptions formed the formation was so fast that it caused the spectators to be stunned. This was the result of the hundreds of years of cultivation the mysterious figure had spent here. Divine inscriptions were formations. Formations were divine inscriptions. Yi Chen activated his golden, pupil-fiery eyes and sent all sorts of information about the divine veins into his ancient god space for analysis. Z. Various analysis results appeared. Combined with the divine veins that Yi Chen had previously comprehended, Yi Chen soon found the mysterious man's habit of using the divine veins. Break! The tip of his sword finger struck the vitals. Kacha, kacha, kacha! The divine inscription grand array instantly shattered, causing the mysterious man to be shocked once again. Impossible! How could he have such talent? Just by looking at a few divine inscriptions, he already knew how to use my divine inscriptions. What's going on? Yi Chen's talent shocked the mysterious man once again. He was even more worried because Gu Mu's attitude toward him was changing. If he could not kill Yi Chen, the consequences would be unpredictable. Since that's the case, I won't hold back. Suddenly, the mysterious man sneered. Then, he performed various hand seals with his hands. The power was 100 times stronger than before. Seeing this scene, Yi Chen understood that this person had even more profound divine inscriptions that he had yet to use. Previously, the divine inscriptions he had used on himself were either level 1 or level 2 divine inscriptions. The divine inscriptions that appeared in front of him could very well be a level 3 divine inscription. I'll let you witness the ultimate might of a 3rd-level divine inscription. So what if it's a 3rd-ranked divine inscription? In front of this emperor, you better bow your head. Yi Chen soared through the 9 heavens, his entire body glowing with the light of the divine inscriptions. The various divine inscriptions he had comprehended and deciphered appeared at the same time. The complexity of the divine inscriptions was actually not any lower than the 3rd-level divine inscriptions designed by the mysterious figure. Impossible. It's impossible for you to comprehend 3rd-level divine inscriptions. Who said that I comprehended 3rd-level divine inscriptions? Then what's this? This is just a variation of the level 1 and level 2 divine inscriptions that I've learned before. Although it's not a pure 3rd-level divine inscription, it's enough to deal with these crudely crafted 3rd-level divine inscriptions of yours. Crudely crafted? Hearing this, the mysterious man went crazy. He had been comprehending the divine inscriptions here for hundreds of years. Countless people had come to challenge the divine power barrier, but they had all been killed by him. Now, the person in front of him said that his divine inscriptions were crudely crafted. How ironic. Die. The mysterious man released the 3rd-level ultimate divine inscription. The surrounding space was completely immersed in his world. In my world, Yi Chen, you must die. Your world? Ha ha ha. Yi Chen laughed domineeringly. The mysterious man did not know what he was talking about. Golden pupil flame. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the golden flames shone on the divine inscription formation, all sorts of information entered the ancient god dimension and was analyzed by Yi Chen's mind. The third-level divine inscriptions that were incomparably complicated and undecipherable were now being analyzed continuously in Yi Chen's mind. It was clear that the analysis and calculation abilities of the two were worlds apart. No. The mysterious man seemed to realize something. He attacked Yi Chen frantically, not wanting Yi Chen to decipher the third-level divine inscriptions. This was because the third-level divine inscriptions were the third-level divine inscriptions that he had comprehended the third-level divine inscriptions. If Yi Chen could destroy this, he would lose all meaning. After this incident with Yi Chen, the balance between him and Gun Mu had been broken. He already knew that all of this might be a scam. If Yi Chen succeeded, he might become a sacrifice, just like the people he had killed before. It turned out that freedom was just an illusory desire. Everything was under the control of the divine tree. The ancient divine tree was the true ruler. Commandant, the mysterious man activated the third-level divine inscription formations at full power and attacked Yi Chen. Oh, what a coincidence. Your most powerful divine inscription might have to change owners. What? As the mysterious man trembled, he saw Yi Chen using various seals to guide the divine inscription formation to start reversing. Hiss. The power of the divine inscription was gradually controlled by Yi Chen's more complicated and exquisite divine inscription rules. With Yi Chen's talent and the support of the ancient god space and the strange mind space, he was able to decipher the third-level divine inscription in the shortest time possible. Rumble. The divine inscription grand formation reversed, and within the original formation, a new one was born. This new formation was created by Yi Chen, and it obeyed his commands. Heavenly demon disintegration. Yi Chen's eyes emitted demonic light. The demonic inscriptions on his body devoured the power of the divine inscription. Yi Chen attacked violently. No! With a painful scream, the mysterious man was completely trapped in Yi Chen's divine demon disintegration formation. Kacha! All the bones in his body shattered, his muscles collapsed, and he was dismembered. After this terrifying scene, everything calmed down. The entire space fell into silence. However, Yi Chen knew that this person was just a puppet. The true ruler was still watching him. He walked toward the divine tree. Dark sky, holy emperor, Yi Chen. The divine tree spoke, revealing Yi Chen's identity. How do you know who I am? Yi Chen asked. The divine power barrier is where the heavenly Tao is. Includes everything. Facing the omnipotent divine tree, the corner of Yi Chen's mouth curled up, full of interest. Submit to the divine tree, and you will naturally get everything. I have another suggestion. If you submit to me, you will surely achieve supreme merit. Chapter 1928. Hearing Yi Chen's words, the divine wood froze. All things are the same under the divine wood. In the eyes of the heavenly emperor, everything is over. Yi Chen stared coldly at the divine wood. At this moment, a barrier formed around the divine wood and countless divine patterns floated out. Each divine pattern was so exquisite that the divine patterns created by the mysterious man could not compare to it. The one before Yi Chen was most likely a more advanced divine pattern. This is a level 4 divine pattern. Yi Chen, what do you think? Simple. Space fury appeared behind Yi Chen. Roar. The roar shook the space, and countless divine patterns were sucked into Yi Chen's mouth like flowing water. Buzz. Following that, various information about the divine pattern was transmitted into the ancient god space and analyzed. With the ancient god power as the power source, Yi Chen's energy supply was not a problem. The speed of analysis could increase without limit. Buzz. All kinds of analysis began to evolve and change. Countless results were produced. Then, Yi Chen personally selected the best answer. Ordinary people would need hundreds of years to comprehend the complex structure, but in Yi Chen's ancient god space, it could be done in an instant. That was the difference. Yi Chen shouted coldly. He stretched out his hand and drew a few simple lines in the air. Buzz, buzz, buzz. These lines spun rapidly and became a divine pattern in the blink of an eye. You're really talented, far above that person. Divine Wood, stop bluffing. You're just a part of the Divine Wood. In my eyes, a level 4 divine pattern is your limit. You can trap him, but don't think you can trap me. The Divine Wood felt the greatest threat. Yichun had seen through it, so it could only attack first. As long as it could trap Yichun, its achievements would be limitless. Divine Wood Heaven Trapping Lock. Suddenly, the 4th level divine inscriptions started to materialize and bind Yichun's body. True Samadhi Fire. Yichun released the true Samadhi Fire, burning the surrounding space so that the level 4 divine pattern could not get close. Using these few seconds, Yichun analyzed the structure of the divine pattern before him. Heavenly Emperor Sword. The Heavenly Emperor Sword spirit was summoned. Divine lightning surrounded Yichun and flames flowed. The Heavenly Emperor Sword unleashed its ultimate power. Emperor's Order. Raging Prairie Fire Cut. Hoo. True fire ablaze. Heaven and earth flattened. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the 4th-ranked divine inscription seal shattered. Damn it. A face appeared on the trunk of the divine tree. It was the tree spirit. Yichun, give me your life. Lowly ant, do you dare to fight against the heavens? Yichun was enraged as well. The Heavenly Emperor's shadow reappeared behind him. Its majestic might shocked the world. 8 Gates Divine Plate, Celestial Emperor's Sword Might. He completely released his own power, supported by the origin energy of the 8 gates of heaven and earth, deciding the heavens and earth with one chop. Boom! Chi. Under the celestial Arch Sword, the divine tree collapsed, and the tree spirit appeared in mid-air. 8 Inner Hidden Gates, receive. Yichun conjured the 8 gates divine disc silhouette and pointed at the tree spirit in the sky. No! The tree spirit's power originated from the 8 gates of judgment. The secret cave creator did not have the ability to open the god's disc, but Yichun did. Yichun kept the divine wood into the ancient god space, and the entire world collapsed. Hiss. Yichun returned to the secret cave. At this time, the 8 gates divine disc was still releasing its power. Receive. The god's disc was withdrawn. Everything was perfect. At this moment, without the protection of the god's disc, the secret cave was on the verge of collapse. Go! Yichun flew out and ran toward the outside world, following the path in his memory. In the outside world, the people of the immortal world and demon world were waiting for their teams to come out. The demon ruler had a smug smile. According to his plan, Li Xiong had killed the human race's geniuses and became the master of everything. He would definitely bring out the truth of the secret cave. Rumble. At this time, the earth shook and the secret cave showed signs of collapsing. What? Faced with such a shocking change, the people of the immortal world and demon world were confused. Demon ruler, what's going on? Ling Huang asked angrily. Ling Huang, I should be asking you what's going on. You're not behind this. I'm not going to waste time with you. Wait for the results. Although the demon ruler did not know the reason for the secret cave shaking, he thought that it was inevitable after Li Xiong found the treasure. Rumble. At this time, the shaking became more and more violent. The entire earth was shaking. Boom. Yichun cut his way through the thistles and thorns. He broke through countless rocks and flew out. Kacha! There was a shocking explosion. Yichun activated the 3rd-level divine vein and instantly broke through the boulder at the entrance and flew out. Seeing Yichun come out, the demon ruler was shocked. Li Xiong would not leave anyone alive. How did this person escape? The people of the demon world looked toward the secret cave entrance, hoping to see Li Xiong and the others appear. But they were disappointed. They saw nothing. As for the spirit realm, they also wanted to see the whereabouts of Yuchi Fengyun and the others. Ling Huang brought the people of the major clans to the cave entrance to observe, but because of the secret cave's age limit, they did not dare to come close. Yichun, where Li Xiong and the others? The demon ruler finally could not stand it anymore and asked angrily. How would I know? You don't know. You went in together. You went in together. So you came out together? Yi Chen looked at the demon ruler coldly. Facing such a powerful person, he showed no fear. You're courting death. The demon ruler was furious and turned to kill Yi Chen. At this time, Ling Huang made a move. His vast psionic power suppressed the demon ruler and at the same time, took Yi Chen away from danger. Yi Chen, what's going on? Ling Huang asked. I don't know either. After entering the secret cave, I moved alone and did not encounter Li Xiong or Yuqi Fengyan. Hearing such an answer, Ling Huang frowned and did not know how to respond. The sovereign of the demon realm, however, was more direct. Yi Chen, did you kill them and take the treasure for yourself? A demon world combatant asked. Ha! Yi Chen laughed. What are you laughing at? The person asked, annoyed. I'm just a beginner fusion stage cultivator. What are you thinking? Could it be that the super prodigies of the demon world can't even defeat me? Hearing this, the demon world combatant could not respond because it was true. Logically speaking, not to mention Li Xiong, who was about to break through and undergo the Ascension Tribulation, even a random prodigy of the demon clan could easily kill Yi Chen. Meanwhile, Ling Huang looked at Yi Chen, his heart trembling. What if Yi Chen killed everyone and came out alone? Chapter 1929. The demon tribe members could tell that Yi Chen did not seem to be lying. Most importantly, his cultivation base was insufficient to kill Li Xiong and the others. They could not continue to target Yi Chen because if they did so, it would seem like they were deliberately looking for excuses. After all, Yuqi Fengyun and the others from the human clan did not come out either. This was consistent with what Yi Chen had said. Perhaps Yi Chen had entered another path alone and survived. Meanwhile, the elites of the human clan and the demon clan had died inside. Of course, giving up like this was not the demon lord's character. He walked forward and looked at Yi Chen coldly. Yi Chen, did you find some treasure? Otherwise, how could you come out? Treasure? I'm lucky to come out alive. Where did the treasure come from? What's the truth about the secret cave? I only took a stroll in the primal chaos and returned from where I came from. As for what Yuqi Fengyun, Li Xiong, and the others encountered, I really don't know. I think they really encountered a treasure. Otherwise, they wouldn't have died in there, right? *M in it. The demon lord was furious and wanted to attack again, but was blocked by Ling Huang. Demon lord, Yi Chen was able to come out because of his own ability. Why are you so aggressive? Ling Huang said. Old man, at least one of you humans came out. Our demon clan was completely annihilated. I don't believe this result. This kid must have done something. You're slandering me without evidence. I won't allow it. The sovereign of the demon realm gnashed his teeth in hatred. According to his plan, Li Xiong would never have failed. What had gone wrong? He did not expect that it was Yi Chen who had killed everyone. Ling Huang, you've angered the demon clan. You humans will die. Ridiculous. Do you think I'm afraid of your threats? The two of them confronted each other. In the end, the humans and demons parted on bad terms. Rumble. The secret cave collapsed completely and turned into ruins. Let's go. Ling Huang led the humans and left. On the side of the devil race, after losing Li Xiong and the other geniuses, they naturally wouldn't let the matter rest. They watched as the humans left and wanted to reinvestigate the secret cave. However, they soon discovered that this was impossible. The secret cave had already been completely destroyed, and there were all sorts of dangerous energies within it. Wanting to reinvestigate and even enter was too difficult. Looking at the ruins in front of him, the devil's sovereign couldn't understand. Lord Sovereign, it's such a terrifying secret cave. We've studied it for hundreds of years before discovering the secret of the Gate of Death. It doesn't make sense that this kid could come out safely. Someone suggested. Do I need you to tell me that? This brat must have obtained some sort of lucky chance, or else he wouldn't have been able to come out alive with that little bit of cultivation. Li Xiong must have failed and then fought with Yuqi Fengyun and the others, dying together in the cave. What a pity. The demonic realm overlord shook his head slightly. In the end, he accepted this reality. Of course, his hatred for Yi Chen rose sharply. He swore that he would make Yi Chen pay the price, and then take away any treasure or great opportunity that Yi Chun had obtained. The humans returned to the spirit realm's imperial palace. Emperor Ling Huang met Yi Chun again. Yi Chun, you've worked hard this time, the spirit emperor said with a smile as soon as they met. It's not hard at all. This secret cave is complicated and ever-changing. I don't even know how I got there. It's completely beyond my control. Yi Chun replied. Ling Huang's eyes were sharp as he observed Yi Chun's behavior and expression. However, what kind of person was Yi Chun? He was the reincarnation of a heavenly emperor. This kind of behavior was a piece of cake for him. It was extremely difficult to find any flaws in Yi Chun's expression. You really didn't find anything? Emperor Ling, don't you believe me? I really didn't find anything. Yi Chun, I don't want any of your treasures. I just want the truth about this secret cave. I've been trapped in this spirit realm for too long, and my cultivation base has been unable to ascend. This is the most difficult thing for me. As long as you tell me the truth about the secret cave, I promise you that I'll definitely protect you to the end and prevent the demon clan from harming you. Demon clan? Huh, I don't care about that. Yi Chun's sudden arrogance stunned Emperor Ling Huang. Yi Chun, you said that you didn't find anything in the secret cave, but the demonic realm overlord will never believe you. They'll continue to target you. Cooperating with me is your only choice. Hearing this, Yi Chun felt a hint of threat. Emperor Ling wanted to rely on the demonic realm overlord to pressure him and force him to submit. Ha ha! Emperor Ling, participating in this secret cave trip was completed by your 6 immortal demon techniques. It's fine if you don't reward me for completing the mission, but you're even questioning me. What's the meaning of this? Yi Chun's forceful retort surprised Emperor Ling Huang. It was the first time Emperor Ling had encountered someone who dared to talk to him like this in this spirit mountain. Yi Chun, you have to be mindful of your status. I'm Emperor Ling, so what if you're an emperor? Do I care? You. Emperor Ling Huang's brows were sharp, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Yi Chun's arrogance had far exceeded his expectations and even exceeded his bottom line. There's no need to say anymore. We're my friends. They're in the residence that I've arranged. Very good. Yi Chun increasingly felt that this was a conspiracy. If anything happened to Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch, he swore to flatten the entire spirit mountain. Emperor Ling, I advise you not to blindly test my bottom line. Hand over the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang immediately. Otherwise, there's nothing to talk about. It's not difficult for me to hand them over, but you have to tell me the truth about the secret cave and give me a satisfactory answer. Emperor Ling, is this how people from the spirit realm do things? Yi Chun, I've said it before. Know your place. I didn't save you from the demonic realm overlord for nothing. You must know how to be grateful. Hearing this, Yi Chun sneered in his heart. Grateful? What kind of gratitude was that? Was imprisoning his friends also gratitude? The so-called rescue was just a matter of convenience. There was a purpose behind it. All right, let me think about it. No problem, but you only have one day. With that, Emperor Ling called someone to bring Yi Chun back to his residence. Yi Chun's so-called think about it was just to buy himself time to cultivate the 8 Gates divine disc. Emperor Ling's cultivation base was too strong, so it was extremely dangerous to deal with him. Yi Chun still had to surround him with people and use the 8 Gates divine disc to find an opportunity to leave the spirit mountain. Returning to his residence, Yi Chun released a formation to isolate himself from the outside world. He wanted to be quiet in front of others, but inside, Yi Chun was already studying the power of the disc. The ancient god power and the divine vein were connected. This was the key to Yi Chun's cultivation of the divine vein. 8 gates of inner concealment, divine vein, appear. Yi Chun released the 8 gates divine disc. The power of the inner concealment triggered the divine vein to appear. Countless lines were like stars in the sky, exquisite beyond compare. Chapter 1930. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Above his head, the 8 gates divine disc released a golden glow. 8 gates appeared around Yi Chun, releasing a strange energy. Ancient god power. Ancient god power was the only thing that could activate the 8 gates of inner concealment. That was Yi Chen's biggest bargaining chip. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the ancient god power circulated, the 8 divine patterns shone with golden light at the same time. At that moment, he was like a golden god of war. Surrounded by the 8 gates, he felt many magical changes. In the 8 gates divine formation, the speed of his spiritual power absorption increased qualitatively. This was something he did not notice before. Countless supreme-grade spirit stones appeared before Yi Chen. With the enhancement of the 8 gates divine formation, the effect of spiritual power even increased. If that's the case, I'll increase it to the limit in one go. Yi Chen spared no effort to save his friend. He released the immortal drift bottle. A full moon hung in the sky, overflowing with colorful lights. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The immortal drift bottle, which had been enhanced by the 8 gates divine arrays, had been purified by the immortal drift bottle. The immortal drift bottle had refined the spiritual energy to the extreme. It was impossible to find such pure spiritual energy in the entire spiritual realm. Roar! The space-time wrath appeared and frantically absorbed the liquid spiritual power flowing out of the immortal drift bottle. That's right, the pure energy had turned into liquid form, and the wrath devoured it greedily. Such pure spiritual power greatly reduced the pressure of refining the ancient god space. Yi Chen could almost absorb it directly. Rumble! Soon, there were loud rumbles in Yi Chen's meridians. Violent spiritual power began to flow. Ah! Yi Chen shouted. All sorts of spiritual power gathered in midair. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Subsequently, the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared in midair. The spiritual power continuously nourished the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit, causing its power to increase rapidly. The sword spirit's original body was Yi Wushuang. As the sword spirit's strength increased, Yi Wushuang sensed it at the same time. In the perilous peak prison, the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang sat cross-legged. Yi Wushuang sensed the changes in the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit. He derived spiritual power and cultivated rapidly. Wushuang, the Patriarch of Hell, also sensed Yi Wushuang's change. He walked to the side to protect Yi Wushuang. In Yi Chen's residence, the 8 gates divine formations and the immortal drift bottle were activated at the same time. Yi Chen's cultivation base was improving at an unstoppable rate. Boom! The psionic power in Yi Chen's meridians went berserk. This 1% of the psionic power's effect was enough to cause a fusion-stage martial artist to explode and die. However, Yi Chen relied on his stage 2 1-star ancient god's super strong resistance. No matter how the psionic power went berserk, he remained unmoved. Z. Yi Chen's eyes sparkled. He had almost turned into a psionic form. Roar! The space-time wrath devoured the psionic energy again. Finally, Yi Chen's body reached its limit. Boom! With a loud bang, Yi Chen broke through to the mid-body integration stage. Although it was only a small increase in rank, his actual combat power had soared more than 1,000 times. This was the powerful effect of the ancient god body. If an ordinary prodigy could increase their combat strength by 10 times after ascending a minor level, the ancient god body would increase their combat strength by at least 100 times. Now, with the support of the 8 gates divine formation and the immortal drift bottle, Yi Chen's strength had increased by at least 1,000 times. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Even tribulation clouds were about to appear above Yi Chen's head. This was a warning from the heavenly Tao. As Yi Chen's foundation was too strong, it did not match his cultivation base at all. Such a heaven-defying action had already attracted the attention of the heavenly tribulation. Under normal circumstances, only people at the peak of the ascension tribulation would encounter this. This was a sign of ascending to become an itinerant immortal. Now, Yi Chen was only at the mid-body integration stage, but he had already encountered such a scene. In order to improve himself, Yi Chen did not care about the heavenly tribulation. As the ancient god heart technique circulated, the energy gradually calmed down. The meridians in his body flowed smoothly, and everything was revived. Yi Chen put away the divine weapons, the immortal drift bottle, and the 8 gates divine formation. Standing up, Yi Chun felt that his foundation was incomparably strong. He could not stand anyone from the spirit realm at all. Wushuang, Patriarch, wait for me. Yi Chun walked out of the main hall forcefully. Outside the main hall, 2 guards looked at Yi Chun coldly. Where are you going? Both of their cultivation bases were extraordinary. They were people specially sent by the Spirit Emperor to watch over Yi Chun. They were all Ascension Almighties. Heaven and earth are my oyster. Yi Chun's eyes turned cold as he walked straight forward. How dare you ignore us? You deserve to die. Be *starred. The 2 powerhouses attacked angrily, blocking Yi Chun's path. Get lost, or you'll die without a burial place. Ha ha! Hearing this, the 2 powerhouses laughed out loud. They were both Ascension Stage powerhouses. If they said get lost in the face of an integration stage person, they would not be able to live anymore. They would just kill themselves. Brat, you're too arrogant. Die. The 2 powerhouses moved instantly and went straight for Yi Chun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Chun used the 9 heavens steps. His body was exquisite and peerless. The 2 powerhouses' attacks could not hit him at all. Both of them were Ascension Stage powerhouses. It was their first time encountering an integration stage person. It was unimaginable that they could not hit him. Get lost. Yi Chun shouted angrily. He ignored the 2 of them like pigs and dogs and walked straight forward. His goal was to save Wushuang. The Patriarch of Hell did not want to waste time here. Ignorant brat. How dare you look down on us? I don't think the Spirit Emperor will blame us for killing you. That's right. This person is extremely arrogant. He doesn't know what's good for him. Kill him to prevent future troubles. The 2 Ascension Stage powerhouses' killing intent was revealed and they attacked. Rumble. Suddenly, spatial psionic power flooded the world. At this moment, Yi Chun was surrounded. The powerful energy seemed to tear everything apart. Obviously, the 2 of them were angered and wanted to kill Yi Chun. To them, Yi Chun was nothing. He was just an integration stage person. There were many people in the spiritual realm, so there was no need to treat him with courtesy. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The 2 of them moved instantly, and a super powerful spiritual weapon, the killing wind, appeared in their hands. Kill. The 2 of them shouted and brandished their sharp blades without hesitation. Yi Chun stood where he was. His cold eyes were filled with the Grim Reaper's light. This was the first battle after breaking through. At the same time, it was also the first slash after breaking through. 8 gates of divinity, Death Gate, open. Above Yi Chun's head, a door of darkness slowly opened. Following that, an endless amount of power burst out. Rumble. The dark light with the aura of death instantly covered the entire space. Heaven and earth turned dark, and one could not see anything. Suppress. Suppress everything. What's going on? What's going on? I can't see. The 2 of them lost their sight at the same time. They opened their spiritual eyes and wanted to observe, but even the spiritual eyes could not do anything. Before the 8 gates of divinity and the darkness divine power, they thought that all their actions were futile. At this moment, they finally felt the fear in their hearts. This was the trembling of their souls. The Grim Reaper was right in front of them. Why? Chapter 1931. Sink into the darkness divine power. Yi Chun's body slowly hovered into the air. He opened his arms and activated the dark death gate to guide the lonely souls. As they screamed in pain, the 2 tribulation transcending experts were unable to resist the darkness divine power. Inside the 8 gates divine disc formation, their bodies were drawn closer and closer to the door of darkness. It wasn't that they wanted to get closer, but the powerful suction force of the door of darkness made it impossible for them to move. No, impossible. A conjoint body cultivator shouldn't be so powerful. Is this the reason why the Spirit Emperor is afraid of him? At the end of their lives, they finally understood why Emperor Ling Huang was so afraid of Yi Chun. However, it was useless. Their lives had come to an end. Gotcha! As the door of darkness closed, the 2 of them disappeared, completely dead. Return. Yi Chun put away the 8-gate divine disc. and moved quickly to locate Wu Shuang and the Patriarch. Celestial, the Arch-Sword Spirit. He released the Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit and communicated with Yi Wushuang. Yi Wushuang's image appeared in Yi Chen's mind. Master, where are you? I don't know either. I sensed that it was a dangerous peak, and there was a formation outside. I'm not sure if what I saw was real or not. It's all right. Release the Heavenly Arch Sword Qi, and I will find you. Yes. Yi Wushuang walked to the cell window and released his Heavenly Emperor Spirit energy. The old ancestor walked over and didn't forget to drink a mouthful of wine. He wasn't nervous at all. Ha ha, fellow Taoist Yi, right? I knew that, fellow Taoist, you would definitely be fine. You even came to save us. Of course, Master will be fine. Yi Wushuang continued to release the Heavenly Emperor's spiritual energy, and this spiritual energy was protected by the Heavenly Emperor Law. Although the energy was not as powerful as before, with the height of the rule, it could completely break through the formation and transmit information. Above the 9 heavens, Yi Chun activated his golden pupil flame to observe the area within 100 miles. ZZZ. Very soon, he discovered the existence of the Heavenly Emperor's spiritual energy. Dangerous peak. Yi Chun found the location of the prison and flew toward the dangerous peak. Yi Chun sensed the aura of the formation when he was 50 kilometers away from the vanguard. ZZZ. The structure of the formation appeared in his golden pupil flame. The entire formation appeared in Yi Chen's mind. A mere formation dares to block my path? Yi Chun held the Heavenly Arch Sword in his hand. His eyes locked onto a spot in the formation. Slash! Boom! The place where the sword chi landed was the core of the formation. Yi Chun saw through the crux of the formation at a glance and broke the formation easily. Kacha, kacha, kacha! As the formation shattered, Yi Chun continued to move forward and arrived at the dangerous peak. Ancestor Wu Shuang. He shouted at the prison inside the vanguard. Ha ha ha! Fellow Yi, I'm waiting for you here. The Patriarch was not nervous at all. He even looked happy. Yi Chun was speechless. However, it was in line with his style. Get out of the way. Yi Chun got the duo to make way for him. Subsequently, he threw a punch. Boom! The earth trembled and rocks flew everywhere. The prison instantly shattered and turned into ruins. Whoosh whoosh. The Patriarch and Wu Shuang flew out and arrived next to Yi Chun. Fellow Taoist Yi, I have to thank you this time. There's no need to thank me. Let's leave this place quickly. Yes. Yi Chun was about to leave with the old ancestor and Wu Shuang. At this moment, a thunderclap resounded in the sky. Rumble. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. 3 powerhouses blocked the way. Yi Chun looked over and saw that they were all mid-stage tribulation stage powerhouses. They were much more powerful than the 2 who had stopped him before. Oh, there are actually 3 tribulation stage powerhouses. This Ling Huang really thinks highly of us. The Patriarch walked forward and said with a smile while drinking some aged wine. Get lost, old thing. One of the powerhouses scolded the Patriarch. The Patriarch's eyes turned cold. Do you think I'm a sick cat if I don't show my power? Who is in a tribulation stage powerhouse? With a loud bang, the Patriarch took out the underworld sword. The power of his body erupted, and his foundation was unprecedentedly strong. He had entered the tribulation stage. Not bad, Patriarch. Yi Chun was secretly delighted. He did not expect that the Patriarch of Hell had secretly passed the tribulation stage. The 3 of them were surprised when they sensed the Patriarch's aura. According to the information they received, the Patriarch was only a conjoint body cultivator. Kill. However, the 3 of them were mid-stage tribulation stage powerhouses. How could they be afraid? They attacked the Patriarch one after another. You want to bully me with numbers? I'm not afraid. Those who could stay by Yi Chen's side were naturally talented. The Patriarch took out the underworld territory, and the power of the underworld sword in his hand doubled. Kill. The Patriarch shouted. The power of the underworld surged between heaven and earth. An endless death energy rushed toward the 3 people in front of him. What? Sensing the death energy, even though the 3 were tribulation stage powerhouses, they still felt a chill down their spine, and their limbs turned cold. Instantly, the patriarch's attack was stopped. "Ha ha, fellow Yi, I didn't embarrass you, did I? Just passable." Yichen replied with a smile. "My talent is incomparable to yours. It's already very good that I'm passable in your eyes. At least, I'm much better than this trash." What? The three of them were furious when they heard the patriarch's words. "Reckless old thing, let's kill him together. Attack." The three of them attacked the patriarch together. At that moment, the dark energy in Yi Chen's palm continued to flow. At the same time, he channeled the power of the divine board and used the dark energy to create an invisible death zone behind the patriarch. Kill. The three of them did not notice the secret at all. They only saw the patriarch charging at them. The patriarch and Yi Chen exchanged glances. They understood Yi Chen's intention. "Ha, good. The patriarch's indifferent attitude made the three of them even more furious. They lost their calm, and they wanted to kill the patriarch of freedom. Kill. The three of them charged at the patriarch with bloodthirsty eyes. Now, Yi Chen reminded them, the patriarch is leaving. The patriarch of hell's sword energy soared into the sky. The power of the underworld filled the air, and the death energy opened a path. His figure disappeared. Where is he? Seeing the patriarch disappear into thin air, the three of them were shocked and wanted to find him. At that moment, the three of them did not know that they had still entered Yi Chen's assassination barrier. "Since you're here, stay." Yi Chen's eyes turned cold, and he threw the immortal slaying flying dagger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The immortal slaying flying dagger entered the void and rushed out of Yi Chen's death zone. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 cold lights flashed, and 3 bloody marks appeared. 3 heads fell to the ground. Thump, thump, thump. The 3 of them were killed, shocking the people of the spirit realm. When the spirit realm army in the distance saw this scene, everyone shuddered with fear. Yi Chen was too powerful. Ha. Chapter 1932. Yi Chen, how dare you break into the prison? How dare you? The spiritual emperor soared into the sky and looked down at everyone with an imposing manner. Spirit sovereign, you have the ambition of a wolf. You used us to investigate the immortal and demonic secret realms for you. Now that you've served your purpose, you want to harm us? How could it be so easy? Yi Chen stood alone in the void, facing Ling Huang. The patriarch of hell and Yi Wushuang stood behind him. The 3 of them were in the same boat and could not be separated. Yi Chen, I'll give you one last chance. Tell me the truth about the immortal demonic secret zones, and I'll let you leave. Nonsense. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as energy exploded. Boom. The powerful aura swept out in all directions, and the surrounding experts were all shocked. This kid actually has such powerful strength. Many powerhouses from the spiritual realm were shocked, and some even felt terrified. Yi Chen, you're stubborn. You must die. Ha. And no one can stop the heavens. Arrogant. The spirit emperor was furious. He flew out, and a chaotic light, immortal force appeared around him. It was incomparably high. Celestial power. Yi Chen's eyes narrowed as he realized that the spirit emperor might have already achieved itinerant immortal stage. He was determined to explore the immortal demon's secret cave for the sake of his own itinerant cultivation base. The truth was right before their eyes. Spirit Emperor, so you're already a rogue immortal. Ha. It's too late now. Killing you will allow me to obtain the truth of the secret land. The Spirit Emperor was certain that the truth of the secret zone was in Yi Chen's hands, and that many of the combatants in the cave were killed by Yi Chen. If you want to pin a crime on someone, you can always find a pretext. Kill. The Spirit Emperor attacked angrily. Immortal energy mixed in his hand, and his power covered the sky. Take this. Patriarch Yellow Spring's sword energy swept out, and the Yellow Spring sword went straight for Ling Huang. Forefather, you can't. Yi Chen wanted to stop him, but the Patriarch had already attacked. Boom! The Grand Elder's sword chi was instantly broken, and his body was sent flying back. Patriarch! Yi Chen went forward to hold the Patriarch. At that moment, the Patriarch was severely injured. Wushuang, Take care of the old ancestor. Yes. Yi Wushuang supported the patriarch and went to the back. This old fellow is actually so strong. I was careless. The old ancestor smiled. Although he was heavily injured, his spirit didn't decrease. At this moment, Yi Chun and Ling Huang stood facing each other in the sky. No one dared to move. Yi Chun, you've witnessed my strength. So what? I don't care if you're an immortal or an emperor. Before the heavens, you can only bow your head. Starlight shone from Yi Chen's eyes. The day turned into a starry sky. Seeing such a scene, even the spirit emperor felt shocked, unable to understand. Looks like this is the truth behind the secret cave. If that's the case, come and get it. Yi Chun activated the 8 gates divine disc and the power of the starry sky. Instantly, the might of an ancient god filled the sky, and the light of the sun and moon illuminated the universe. Boom! The boundless power transformed into the heavenly emperor sword spirit and landed in Yi Chen's hand. Kill! The celestial Darch sword determined the universe with one slash. Immortal art, heartless Tao. Facing such a terrifying might, Ling Huang used the scattered celestial technique and transformed it into a boundless palm energy that shot out from the sky. Boom! The might of the celestial Darch sword clashed with a mighty palm print in the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The surroundings were torn apart, and the void was lifeless. You can actually block my palm energy. Looks like if I don't get rid of you, there'll be endless trouble in the future. Ling Huang thought that his palm strike was enough to kill Yi Chun, but he was wrong. Gravely wrong. The Yi Chun before him had a strong foundation and powerful divine abilities that completely exceeded his imagination. Yi Chun was definitely a match for him. Ling Huang, you're too confident. You'll pay the price for your confidence. Facing Ling Huang's shock, Yi Chun did not change his expression. His eyes were cold like a real heavenly emperor looking down on all living beings. This situation shocked and terrified countless spirit realm powerhouses. Who was Yi Chun? He was just a master conjoint body cultivator. However, Ling Huang was a powerful immortal. Even so, they were evenly matched. This meant that Yi Chen's talent and potential were immeasurable, like a terrifying god or demon. This person is so abnormal. It's unbelievable. How powerful is Ling Huang? He can't kill this person with one palm. He's too powerful. I've never seen such a powerful prodigy. Genius can't even describe his talent. Many spirit realm powerhouses shook their heads. They thought that the people of the spirit realm could rely on their superior environment to cultivate geniuses who surpassed all levels. However, Yi Chun, a person who had ascended from the spirit realm, had broken their conventional thinking. The shock of having their worldview destroyed was indescribable. Their hearts were filled with Yi Chen's shadow. Ling Huang looked behind him from the corner of his eyes and saw that everyone was shocked by Yi Chen's strength. This was not good news. All of you calm down. A thunderous roar shocked everyone. Yes, everyone bowed. At this time, Ling Huang was furious and ruthless. No one dared to disobey his orders. Your time is up. Yi Chen die. The game has just begun and you want to end it. What a joke. So what if he was an itinerant immortal? Before the heavenly emperor, they were all ants. Kill. Yi Chun activated the heavenly emperor sword's might and combined it with the 8 gates divine disc. The surrounding space immediately fell into a divine inscription barrier. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless divine inscriptions bloomed on Yi Chen's sword. The space rule kept changing. Even Ling Huang's immortal technique was restricted. Impossible. Ling Huang turned pale with fright. At this moment, he finally understood that the secret cave really existed. It was the power Yi Chun used. Ha ha, very good, very good. He quickly recovered from the shock. This was the powerful mind cultivation of itinerant immortals. They could better control their emotions, allowing their combat power to soar. Kill you, and I'll get everything. Ling Huang's face revealed a crazed expression as if he had changed into a different person. Many spirit realm powerhouses trembled. Many tribulation stage powerhouses knelt down. They did not dare to face Ling Huang's form. Ling Huang has entered the form of an immortal. Yichen must die. Let's hurry up and worship him. Otherwise, we'll die too. That's right, that's right. Many high and mighty powerhouses were like ants at this moment, kneeling in front of him. Ha ha ha. Ling Huang burst into laughter. It was like thunder, shocking everyone. Yi Wushuang and the patriarch were so shocked that their bodies involuntarily wanted to kneel. Wushuang, hold on. The patriarch gritted his teeth and shouted at Yi Wushuang. All right. Yi Wushuang was in a difficult situation as well. The restrictions of the immortal technique were too severe. Unless he had an ancient god body like Yi Chun, he would not be able to resist. Seeing Yi Wushuang and the patriarch's predicament, a cold gleam flashed in Yi Chen's eyes. A heaven-devouring wrath dragon appeared behind him. Roar! The wrath dragon devoured the sky with supreme majesty. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Following that, countless immortal techniques were directly absorbed into the ancient god space. What? Chapter 1933. Absorbing my immortal art? Impossible. Seeing that the fury dragon behind Yi Chun was absorbing the power of the immortal technique, this phenomenon had already exceeded the spirit sovereign's imagination. It was precisely because he was an itinerant immortal powerhouse that such a thing had never happened in a long time that he could not believe what he was seeing. The experts from the spiritual realm were even more shocked by this phenomenon, and many of them were dumbfounded. Immortal techniques were extremely powerful laws. Without ascending to the ranks of immortals, it was absolutely impossible to comprehend and use them. Meanwhile, Yi Chun was only a mastery integration powerhouse who had not even completed the ascension. He definitely had no fate with immortal methods. However, how could he absorb immortal methods directly? What did you do? Spirit Emperor asked in a trembling voice. I didn't do anything, Yi Chen replied coldly, making Ling Huang feel even more hopeless. It was as if all his hard work had been a joke. The person in front of him, a person of the spirit realm, had actually grasped the truth that he wanted the most and had even used it against him. How ironic was this? It was true that Yi Chun had not mastered immortal methods, but ancient god power was a natural order that was far above immortal methods. Therefore, even if Yi Chun could not master immortal methods, he could still use the space-time, fury-devouring immortal system to refine him into food for his ancient god body. That was all. Naturally, such a method was very risky because if the opponent's immortal method was too powerful, Yi Chun might be severely injured. Spirit Emperor, your greed is insatiable. You want to use our lives to find the truth for you. Unfortunately, you're not worthy of the truth. Yi Chen's words were like an awl, constantly stabbing into Ling Huang's heart. For many years, he had been unable to ascend. Such a heavy feeling caused him to gradually lose himself. His heart was no longer calm, and his cultivation base was unable to break through. He had completely turned into another person, and in order to achieve his goals, he would do anything. Am I wrong? I want to ascend. I want to grow. Am I wrong? The spiritual emperor kept shouting hysterically. Spirit Emperor, your wrongs and wrongs have nothing to do with me. Take care of yourself. Yi Chen led Wu Shuang and the patriarch out. No, come back here. Ling Huang flew out again, wanting to capture Yi Chen. He was not willing to give up. He wanted to know the truth about the secret cave. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed with a chilling gleam as he activated the 8 divine boards. Z. The divine rune barrier blocked the operation of the celestial technique, and the Spirit Emperor's figure instantly fell to the ground. This was the first time that the almighty emperor had fallen in front of the crowd, so powerless and helpless. Everyone was shocked. Yi Chen's superiority could no longer be tampered with. Everyone worshipped Yi Chun. Yi Chun is a real immortal. We're impressed. You're too amazing. Farewell, senior. Many old powerhouses of the spirit realm knelt on the ground and respectfully bid farewell to senior. At the sight of this, the celestial sovereign's heart sank. He had never thought that he would be unable to defeat a body integration realm cultivator despite cultivating his entire life. Could this still be considered cultivation? Sighing, the Spirit Emperor bowed towards the departing silhouette and left the Spirit Emperor palace. Spirit Emperor? Everyone urged him to stay. Although the Spirit Sovereign had lost to Yi Chun, he was still their pillar of support. Everyone, I was possessed. Fortunately, I was awakened by Senior Yi Chun. This person's talent is extraordinary and his foundation is strong. He's not an ordinary person at all. He must be a super powerhouse who has reincarnated. I'm no longer qualified to lead everyone again. From now on, all of you will worship Emperor Yi Chun. After saying that, Emperor Ling turned around and left. Everyone was dumbfounded. No one had expected things to develop to this extent. Without the Spirit Emperor, who would fight against the demon realm, Yi Chun brought Wu Shuang and the Patriarch to a quiet place and sat cross-legged to rest. Yi Chun took out a golden pill and handed it to the Patriarch. This is a golden pill I obtained from the immortal demon secret realm. It's definitely effective. All right. Thank you, fellow Yi. The Patriarch was ecstatic. It was not only because of the golden pill in front of him, but also because of Yi Chun's strength. What kind of person was an itinerant immortal? They were super powerhouses on land. The might of their immortal techniques was unstoppable. However, in front of Yi Chun, they could not even withstand a single blow. It was the Patriarch's lifetime honor to travel with such a person. Oh, the Patriarch swallowed the golden pill in one gulp and immediately felt his internal organs warm. Spiritual power circulated in his meridians. It was extremely normal and even contained extremely strong rules, allowing the meridians in his body to grow again and become more solid. This was a double improvement of his foundation and talent. Ha ha! Good golden pill, good golden pill. The Patriarch shouted with a loud laugh. Fellow Yi, where are we going next? I sensed it. This Spirit Emperor Palace is not the highest place in the spirit realm. Oh, you have a new direction? I sensed a place. That's the best place for me to go through the tribulation. Let's go. That's great. I also need to adjust my breathing, rest, and stabilize my foundation. Everyone got up and followed Yi Chun. After traveling for 1,000 miles, Yi Chun brought the two of them to the foot of a mountain. This place was filled with spiritual energy, beautiful mountains, and clear waters. The environment was excellent. Phew! The Patriarch took a deep breath and immediately felt refreshed. The spiritual power contained in it was so rich. Fellow Yi, there must be a pure spiritual vein here, the Patriarch said. That's right. I've already sensed the location of the spiritual vein. Let's go. Yi Chun walked in front and brought everyone to the 3 peaks. The two of you, these 3 peaks have 3 spiritual veins hidden. It's the best place for us to cultivate and ascend. Look, going separately. Beautiful. The Patriarch can't wait. The 3 of them nodded at each other. Yi Chun entered the middle, while Wu Shuang and the Patriarch entered the mountains on both sides. Rumble. Yi Chun smashed the boulder with his palm, and a secret path appeared. This secret path was incomparably dark. Yi Chun waved his sword fingers, and divine light bloomed, leading the way. After walking for about 10 miles, Yi Chun entered one of the spiritual veins. This was the core of the entire mountain range. Furho, now is the time for you to play your role. Roar. Behind Yi Chun, Furho appeared. As it roared, the surrounding space shattered, and the power of the spiritual vein emerged. Now is the time to go through the tribulation. Yi Chun activated the 8 gates divine disc. Immediately, the 8 gates opened. Rumble. With a strong vibration, the power of the 8 gates and Furha's devouring technique activated the ascension formation around Yi Chun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The spiritual vein glowed, and endless spiritual energy entered the formation. After being purified, it was absorbed by Furho and entered Yi Chun's body. Rumble. The ancient god space was like a furnace, constantly refining pure spiritual energy, making Yi Chun's body gradually clear. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chun's eyes emitted infinite spiritual light, and his body was crystal clear. Above his head, countless colorful clouds gradually condensed. Chapter 1934. Boom! Between the heavens and the earth, colorful clouds flew about. Drastic changes. The tribulation cloud suddenly appeared and began to attack Yi Chen's barrier. Are they here? Yi Chen opened his eyes and looked at the sky. The ascension that he had been waiting for was finally here. Such a heaven-defying act shall be punished by the heavens. Up in the sky, a majestic voice rang out. The great Tao was merciless, and the vast expanse was destroyed. The 8 gates divine disk, the space-time fury, and the heavenly emperor's original form. Yi Chen's talent was too powerful. It was obvious that he had surpassed the limits of heaven and earth, triggering the heavenly retribution and earth-destroying thunder that was thousands of times more powerful than an ordinary person. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The divine lightning descended upon the world, annihilating the heretic. The power of the immortal and demon was activated. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Endless samsara spun. High up in the 9 heavens, tribulation clouds manifested the figure of an Empyrean. Oh! Seeing the heavenly venerate's figure, Yi Chen smiled coldly. His arrogance did not decrease in the slightest. Come on! Lightning flickered in his eyes as he glared at the supremacy of divine lightning. Exterminate! The divine thunder struck furiously, wanting to kill Yi Chen. Boom! Emotionless, giant energy bombarded heaven and earth. No one could survive here. The phenomenon triggered by Yi Chen's tribulation stage could be compared to ordinary geniuses becoming immortals. Boom! The divine thunder struck furiously, and the mountain range shook violently. Countless mountain peaks were shattered by the divine thunder and turned into dust. Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch, who were absorbing spiritual power in the other earth veins, sensed all of this. Ha ha! Fellow Yi, you finally reached this stage. Your cultivation is about to catch up to me, your ancestor. It's really incredible. Master, you've transcended the tribulation and ascended. Your strength has reached a whole new level, and you're invincible under heaven. Both of them cheered Yi Chen on. Of course, they knew very well that such a small problem would not be a problem for Yi Chen. Then, the two of them entered meditation. Boom! The divine thunder searched for Yi Chen's location. Finally, the coordinates of Yi Chen, who was in the center of the ley line, were locked onto. Destroy. Boom! Between heaven and earth, the lightning turned into a lightning spear and attacked Yi Chen. Heavenly, the arch sword. Although he was brimming with confidence, Yi Chen had to show enough respect to the immortal-level divine thunder power. The heavenly emperor's sword spirit made its move. Kill! The sword chi rose to the sky and slashed out. Boom! The earth veins surged for 90,000 miles, shooting straight into the 9 heavens' divine, slaying thunder. This strike completely broke through the core of the earth vein. The sword-shaped sword cut through all obstacles and rushed toward the divine thunder. Kacha, kacha, kacha! The sword chi was irresistible and instantly destroyed the power of the divine thunder. Ha ha ha! This move triggered the mad laughter of the supreme divine thunder. Subsequently, countless lightning spears condensed in the sky. This was a response to Yi Chen's heaven-defying move. Destroy. So. Countless lightning spears rained down like raindrops. Ha ha ha! In the face of heaven's judgment, Yi Chen laughed maniacally as well. Subsequently, his figure flashed and soared into the sky. Chi! He pointed his sword forward, breaking through all kinds of obstacles. Mountain rocks flew everywhere, space shattered, and a person rushed out from the shattered energy like a meteor. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless lightning spears attacked Yi Chen. One sword to shake 19 prefectures. The heavenly emperor's sword spirit appeared between Yi Chen's brows. Subsequently, the heavenly emperor's apparition appeared behind him. The heavenly emperor's apparition wrapped around Yi Chen and turned into a sword spirit chi shield to protect him. The power of the divine thunder is mine. Subsequently, Yi Chen made a shocking move. He turned into the dragon of time and space and frantically devoured the divine thunder. Roar! The dragon of time and space triggered the space rules, and the entire space turned into a huge beast mouth that devoured everything. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless lightning spears were directly devoured by the dragon of time and space, leaving nothing behind. Roar. The dragon of time and space was destroyed. In the end, all the lightning spears were absorbed by Yi-Chun. Ha ha ha! Yi-Chun returned to his original form and glared at the supreme divine thunder. The supreme divine thunder was tens of thousands of feet tall and looked down on everything. However, in front of Yi-Chun, he had no dignity at all. Emperor's Order, Universal Slash. The Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared in Yi-Chun's hand again. Rumble. An incomparably huge sword shape slashed toward Supreme Divine Thunder. Go! The Divine Thunder condensed again, and then endless wind and flames attacked at the same time, all rushing toward Yi-Chun. Oh! Such a phenomenon clearly exceeded the level of the tribulation stage. This was completely a test for immortals, even for powerful immortals. The world turned upside down, and the universe was shaken. Then eat my attack. Yi-Chun's eyes flashed with infinite power. The power of the divine thunder that he had absorbed before came into effect at this moment. Ah! With a long shout, the Heavenly Emperor behind, Yi-Chun's body flickered with electricity, and the Heavenly Emperor's sword of divine thunder condensed in between its brows. Whoosh! The sword gleam came out forcefully, like an arrow leaving the bow, falling to the ground like a meteor, unstoppable. Boom, boom, boom. Along the way, all the tribulation clouds were destroyed, and everything turned into dust. Rumble. In the end, the sword gleam penetrated the supreme divine thunder, and the supreme divine thunder's body suddenly shattered. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The endless power of the divine thunder scattered between heaven and earth. Roar. The roar of time and space appeared again. At the same time, in the sky, the 8 gates divine disk enhanced the power of the roar, absorbing all the power of the divine thunder. This was the endless power of creation. Absorbing such power could completely refine the body of the supreme divine thunder. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The ancient divine body contained all things, and the power of the divine thunder mixed with the bloodline. Rumble. In Yi-Chun's meridians, endless divine thunder turned into divine dragons, constantly attacking in all directions, shaking his body. Unparalleled ancient god. Releasing the ancient god power, Yi-Chun's body was indestructible, and he forcefully absorbed and refined the 9 heavens' divine thunder. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the end, the supreme divine thunder was formed. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yi-Chun opened his eyes, and endless lightning flashed. He clenched his hands, and the powerful power shook the world. The entire mountain suddenly exploded. Devour. The powerful gravity of the spiritual vein in the earth was completely absorbed by the devouring power of the divine thunder. Ha ha ha! He had just broken through, but his foundation was already extremely stable. This spiritual land was the best place for Yi-Chun to break through. Clap, clap, clap. At this time, applause sounded. It was the patriarch who appeared. Congratulations, fellow Yi, on ascending to the ascension stage. The patriarch walked over with a smile, but halfway there, his face showed shock. Fellow Yi, your tribulation transcendence stage is too exaggerated. You actually have such a powerful divine thunder power on you. This is something that even I have never encountered before. The patriarch of hell felt the power of the divine thunder around Yi-Chun in surprise and said, Ha! I've absorbed all the power of the supreme divine thunder and achieved the supreme divine thunder. The patriarch was stunned. Even the strongest genius had to hide when encountering such a disaster. But Yi-Chun directly absorbed the power of creation. Such courage, talent, and luck were indescribable. There was only one word, powerful. Chapter 1935. Fellow Yi, after coming to the spiritual realm, I received news that the Netherworld Battle Mansion wants to invite me back. The patriarch of Netherworld stepped forward. The Netherworld Battle Mansion? Yichun was puzzled when he heard of this place. I have some friends there. Now that I've recovered my cultivation base, it's time to go back and see them. I see. Since everyone is here, why don't we go together? I also want to see what kind of strange place the Netherworld Battle Mansion is. Please. The three of them headed toward the Netherworld. The Netherworld Battle Mansion was a secret place in the spiritual realm where independent cultivators gathered. The forces there were complicated. The place where the Patriarch of Netherworld was at was one of the major forces, the Netherworld sect. Previously, the Patriarch of Netherworld was the supreme elder of the Netherworld sect. Later, he left the sect for various reasons and met Yichun. After entering the spiritual realm, the Patriarch of Netherworld contacted the Netherworld sect. In the end, the Netherworld sect learned that the Patriarch of Netherworld was still alive. They were very happy and hoped that he would return to the sect. The three of them rode on the sword boat and traveled millions of miles in a day. Finally, they arrived at a strange place. Fellow Yi, the entrance to the 3,000 feet of the Netherworld is just ahead. 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. That's right. The Netherworld Battle Mansion is 3,000 feet below. Many hermits and experts of the spiritual realm are gathered there. However, those so-called righteous sects don't care about it. It's a small world. I see. But those righteous sects might not be stronger than this place, right? Ha ha ha, of course. Even the Spirit Emperor of the spiritual realm is no match for you. I think you should be the strongest here. That's not the case. Oh, seeing Yichun's cold eyes as if he saw something they did not. The Patriarch of Netherworld revealed a puzzled expression. Although the Spirit Emperor is an itinerant immortal, he's only a First Tribulation itinerant immortal. To be precise, he's not even a First Tribulation itinerant immortal. The spiritual realm is so vast. The true experts could be anywhere. The Patriarch of Netherworld nodded slightly. Itinerant immortals don't attack easily because they want to avoid heavenly tribulations. However, most of them are hermits. Forget it. Let's not talk about this anymore. He made an inviting gesture, then released a talisman, which flew into the valley. The three of them arrived in front of the valley. Yichun looked over and saw that it was indeed bottomless like a bottomless pit. Furthermore, there was a powerful formation within the valley. The arrangement of the rules was extremely complicated. If an ordinary person didn't know the method, it would be extremely difficult to enter. This was the Yellow Springs Isolation Formation. The talisman released by the Grand Ancestor flew 3,000 feet below and quickly disappeared without a trace. We will wait here. Someone will come out to welcome us soon. The old ancestor said with a smile. And Yichun nodded lightly. After about a moment, a dark light suddenly appeared 3,000 jom below. Then, the dark light flickered upwards. Who cast the spell? That person floated in midair, his eyes emitting fiery light, looking extremely strange. It was me, your ancestor, who sent it. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring stepped forward and said to that person, "You are." That person looked at the old ancestor with a puzzled expression. He could sense a powerful Yellow Springs aura from the old ancestor's body. This aura was extremely familiar, and at the same time, it shocked him. "Ha! You must be a junior of the Yellow Springs. You don't recognize me? Patriarch? You're the Patriarch of Yellow Spring?" "That's me." "That's great. Patriarch, please accept this disciple's bow." Sensing the old ancestor's aura, that cultivator directly knelt in midair and bowed to the old ancestor. "Get up. Take us to the Netherworld sect." "Yes." That person stood up and bowed slightly to Yichun and Yi Wushuang. Subsequently, he led the three of them and rushed down 3,000 jom below. The four of them turned into streams of light and rushed down 3,000 jom. After landing, Yichun observed his surroundings. The environment here was extremely dark, and there was a strange atmosphere that made people feel uneasy. Of course, such an atmosphere had no effect on him at all. There were cultivators walking around everywhere. Many of them looked angry and had a strong, murderous aura. Coupled with the old ancestor's introduction, Yi-Chun immediately understood that the forces here were extremely complicated. Many of them might be wanted criminals in the spirit realm. This way, please. The cultivator led Yi-Chun and the other two into a stone passage. The old ancestor revealed a puzzled expression. Kid, since when do we have to take such a small path to the Netherworld sect? The old ancestor asked. I don't dare to lie to you, old ancestor. The Netherworld sect is completely different from before you left. As he spoke, the man revealed a helpless expression and seemed to be in a heavy mood. Hearing this, the old ancestor frowned. He knew that something had happened. What do you mean? Before the old ancestor left, the Netherworld sect was the most powerful sect within 3,000 zhong of the Netherworld sect and occupied the leading position here. Now that they had to take such a small path to enter the sect, it was obvious that they had been greatly excluded. Old ancestor, you better go back and tell the sect leader. He'll tell you. All right, lead the way. The old ancestor's face was filled with anger. As the former supreme elder of the Netherworld sect, he could not watch his sect fall to such an extent. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Everyone quickly entered the Netherworld sect. The old ancestor was furious along the way, clearly very dissatisfied with such an outcome. Finally, they arrived in front of the Netherworld sect. Yi-Chun looked over and saw that the three big words of the Netherworld sect were crooked. It was obvious that someone had done something to it. What's going on? The old ancestor was furious. It was a great humiliation for a dignified sect's plaque to be so crooked. Old ancestor, please calm down. This is a prank by the evil dragon gang. They deliberately messed with us. The man said with his head lowered. Evil dragon gang? Where do they come from? The old ancestor thought about it carefully, but did not recall any evil dragon gang. Old ancestor, this happened after you left, so you don't know. What bullshit *T evil dragon gang? Break. The old ancestor was furious. He struck out with his palm, and the powerful force shattered the entire plaque. Subsequently, the old ancestor condensed his chi with his sword finger and violently wrote 3 golden words on the stone gate. Netherworld sect. Domineering. Yi-Chun said, Thank you for your praise, fellow Yi. The old ancestor's mood improved slightly, but when he turned to the disciple, he showed anger again. Bring me to your sect leader immediately. Yes. Seeing the old ancestor's hot temper, the disciple did not dare to delay and quickly led the old ancestor forward. After walking for about a moment, a large hall appeared in front of them. It was the Netherworld sect's meeting hall. Several people were discussing something, each of them frowning and depressed. Rumble. A powerful pressure came, causing everyone's hearts to tremble, and they stood up. Who is it? The Netherworld sect leader, the Netherworld Taoist, stood up and questioned the people outside the door. The old ancestor of Netherworld. The 4 words shocked the powerhouses present. End of this chapter. Chapter 1936. Taoist master Netherworld burst into tears when he heard the Patriarch's name. Patriarch, you're finally back. Taoist master Netherworld went forward and almost knelt on the ground. There's no need for this. Get up. Yes. Taoist master Netherworld was the Patriarch's disciple a long time ago. After the Patriarch left, he had been the sect leader. Patriarch, who are these two? He looked at Yi-Chun and Wu Shuang behind the Patriarch and asked, These two are your seniors, especially fellow Yi. He's a supreme almighty. Do you understand? Huh? I see. I'm blind. Taoist master Netherworld hurriedly bowed after hearing the Patriarch's introduction. May I know your name, senior? Yi-Chun, this is Yi Wu Shuang. Yi-Chun said, Welcome, seniors. This way, please. Yi-Chun nodded slightly and entered the Netherworld sect. Many people did not know the Patriarch after entering the Netherworld sect. After Taoist master Netherworld introduced them, everyone bowed to the Patriarch and Yi-Chun. What's going on? What happened after I left 3,000 feet of the Netherworld? The Patriarch was very dissatisfied with the current situation of the Netherworld sect. He angrily scolded Taoist master Netherworld. Patriarch, it's all because of my incompetence. Taoist master Netherworld burst into tears again and then told them what happened after the Patriarch left. It turned out that after the Patriarch of Netherworld left 3,000 feet of the Netherworld, his enemies came to him. Not only did they humiliate the Netherworld sect, but they even took over the entire 3,000 feet of the Netherworld, turning the Netherworld sect from a most glorious sect to the most humiliated sect below 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. Damn it! The Patriarch slammed the table and stood up. He could not contain his anger. How could the Netherworld sect that he had personally created endure such humiliation? Patriarch, please calm down. The area below 3,000 feet of the Netherworld is completely under the North Nether sect's control. We're being humiliated by the people of the North Nether sect every day. We're just waiting for the Patriarch to return and lead us back to glory. Taoist Master Netherworld continued. But we have to think about this carefully, Patriarch. That bastard North Nether dares to humiliate the Netherworld sect to this extent. I'll definitely kill him. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring was also a hot-tempered person. How could he tolerate such humiliation? He immediately wanted to seek revenge on Taoist North Ming. Rumble. At this moment, a loud bang came from outside the door. The old ancestor flew out and saw that the 3 golden words of the Yellow Spring Gate that he had written had been torn apart. Who dares to touch my Netherworld sect? The Grand Ancestor roared angrily. Ha ha ha. Since when did Netherworld sect have such an arrogant person? How dare you shout at me? At this moment, a few people walked in from outside. Most of them were conjoint body cultivators, and the person walking in front was a perfected conjoint body cultivator. Yichun followed the Patriarch out and saw these people. Each of them was arrogant and domineering. It was obvious that these people were probably the people from the North Nether sect that the Netherworld Taoist mentioned. Who are you? The old ancestor asked. Old thing, you don't even know who I am? Ask that grandson behind you. The leader of the group berated the old ancestor. The old ancestor's eyes turned cold and murderous. This person's tone was too arrogant. Even the Netherworld sect's sect master, the Netherworld Taoist, was called grandson. Such a humiliation was not only to the Netherworld sect and the Netherworld Taoist, but also to the Patriarch of Netherworld. Chi, don't talk nonsense. We are surrounded by the Supreme Patriarch of Netherworld sect. How dare you speak like this? The Netherworld Taoist couldn't stand it anymore, so he mustered up his courage and said, Netherworld Taoist, since when did you become so tough? It seems like it's because of these pieces of trash, right? Chi pointed at Yichun and the others and shouted. These words had gone beyond targeting the Acheron sect and involved Yichun. Originally, this was an internal matter of the Patriarch, and Yichun wanted the Patriarch to solve it himself. However, the person in front of him was so reckless, so why should he show mercy? Feeling Yichun's powerful killing intent, the man frowned slightly. What? You want to fight? The man locked his cold eyes on Yichun. He opened his spiritual eye and found that Yichun was only a void refinement stage cultivator. He did not know that Yichun had concealed his cultivation base to keep a low profile. Fight! You don't even have the right to kneel at my feet, Yichun said coldly. What? Chi was completely furious. He did not expect that a mere void refinement stage cultivator would dare to talk to him like this. Yichun's cultivation-based concealment technique was an ancient secret technique. Even a tribulation stage cultivator would not be able to see through it, let alone a body integration stage cultivator. This person was courting death by provoking Yichun. Brat, if I don't tear you into pieces today, I'm not Chi. Chi came to the front forcefully and released all the power in his body, locking onto Yichun. Seeing this scene, the Netherworld Taoist's heart trembled. He looked at Yichun and found that Yichun was at the void refinement stage. He did not know how such a low-level person could become the Patriarch Senior, but he was a guest. He did not want Yichun to be killed by Chi and embarrass the Patriarch. Chi, this person is a guest. Don't mess around. The Patriarch looked at the Netherworld Taoist. The latter saw the look in the Patriarch's eyes and immediately retreated. I guess so what? I'm going to kill you today to to show you where you stand. Bai Ming-chi charged at Yi Chun wildly with spiritual power all over his body. Senior brother, kill this piece of trash. That's right. A mere void refinement stage cultivator wants to fight you. Senior brother. How dare this piece of trash try to act cool? He deserves to die. The people from the North Nether sect could not see through Yi Chen's cultivation level. They cheered and waited for Bai Ming-chi to kill Yi Chun before celebrating. Ha! I'll kill you to establish my prestige today. Die. Hearing the cheers from the people behind him, Bai Ming-chi was elated and flew away quickly. Lowly dog, you've never seen the immensity of heaven and earth. You deserve to die. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as the heavenly emperor's sword spirit appeared. Whoosh! He waved his sword fingers as he turned around. Whoosh! The heavenly emperor sword chi streaked across the sky like a meteor chasing after the moon. Its power was unpredictable. Psst! The smile on Bai Ming-chi's face suddenly froze as a slicing sound was heard. He was still moving forward. The people behind him did not know what was happening and continued cheering. Ha! This brat is dead. At that moment, Bai Ming-chi stopped 3 meters before Yi Chun. He stopped moving forward, and the proud smile from earlier was still on his face. He was like a statue. That's not right. The people from a North Nether sect behind him were stunned. Boom, boom, boom. At that moment, a head rolled onto the ground. The face with a creepy smile happened to face the people from the North Nether sect. Huh. The people of the North Nether sect were all stunned, and their faces were filled with horror. Their senior brother, North Nether Chi, was at the peak of the body synthesis realm. He could even fight an ordinary crossing calamity realm cultivator to a stalemate. End of this chapter. Chapter 1937. Let's go. The people from a North Nether clan saw that the situation was not good and quickly retreated. Where are you going? The old ancestor was enraged. Sword Chi flew out, and instantly, a sword net weaved in front of everyone. We're just doing odd jobs and following Bai Ming-chi out. This has nothing to do with us. That's right, old ancestor, please show mercy. Many people from a North Nether clan knelt on the ground, not daring to raise their heads. Ants like you aren't worthy of dying in my hands. Go back and tell old Taoist Bei Ming that Patriarch Netherworldly is back. Let him wait for death. Yes. Everyone nodded, not daring to speak loudly. Scram! The old ancestor let out an angry roar, and the disciples of the Dark North sect all fled. Great, that's great. Seeing such a scene, the disciples of Yellow Spring sect cried out in surprise. The old ancestor had returned with 2 powerful seniors. The day of Yellow Spring sect's revival had arrived. They were incomparably elated, and the emotions that had been suppressed for a long time erupted. Senior's foundation is unfathomable. We are impressed. The people from Acheron's sect stepped forward and bowed to Yi Chun. I thought you were a conjoined body cultivator and weren't a match for Bai Ming-chi. I'm truly ashamed. Taoist Netherworld stepped forward and said, Scoundrel, fellow Yi is a tribulation transcendence almighty. How can she be a body integration cultivator? The patriarch scolded. Many people from the Acheron sect were puzzled. Yi Chun was only at the void refinement stage. Ha! You mortals can't see through fellow Ye's technique. Even if fellow Yi was really at the body integration realm, killing Bai Ming-chi would be a piece of cake, let alone tribulation transcendence realm. So powerful? Everyone shuddered at the mention of the ancestor's eye. Senior Yi, this junior was blind. Please forgive me. Taoist Huang Quan led everyone forward to apologize. It's fine, Yi Chun said. I'm back. This time, I'm going to hold a feast for 3 days. Taoist Netherworld, Patriarch Yellow Spring winked at Taoist Yellow Spring, and the latter smiled. Patriarch, don't worry. I'll immediately prepare the maidservants and arrange for them to be in your room tonight. You really understand this old man's good intentions. Get ready quickly. Yes. Taoist Huang Quan quickly acted. Amazing. Yi Chun shook his head and walked into the main hall. The people of North Nether sect left the Yellow Spring sect and rushed back to the sect. Sect leader! Sect leader! Those people tumbled and crawled through the gate, shouting at the main hall. Is there a need to panic? At this moment, a person walked out of the main hall. He was burly and had a dark face. He wore a long black robe. It was Taoist Bei Ming. Sect Master, Lord Bai Ming Qi. What happened to him? Speak. He died in the Yellow Spring Gate. What? Old Taoist Bei Ming's brows furrowed in anger. The power of black water erupted from his entire body, and the person in front of him was hit on the spot. That person's entire body was covered in black water. His skin festered, his muscles dissipated, and he turned into a pool of blood on the spot. When the rest of the human realm saw this scene, they were so frightened that they didn't dare to move and didn't make a sound. Who killed Bei Mingqi? Yes, it's a young man. Someone said boldly. Young man? Which young man from a Yellow Spring sect is so powerful? How dare you lie to me? I'll tear you into pieces. We don't dare to lie to you, Sect Master. The Patriarch of Yellow Spring returned with 2 people. One of them is that young man. His strength is unfathomable and incomparably powerful. He decapitated Bai Ming Qi with 1 move. Damn it! Taoist Bei Ming raised his palms to the sky. Instantly, heaven and earth shook, and the black water filled the space. It was extremely terrifying. If I don't take revenge, I, Taoist Bei Ming, am not a human. His eyes emitted a dark light. Since the Patriarch of Yellow Spring had returned, there was no need for the Yellow Spring sect to stay. His goal was to use the Yellow Spring sect to lure the Patriarch back, and then take revenge. Prepare for battle. Yes, Sect Master. Several generals walked out one after another, ready to fight. On the Yellow Spring sect side, there was singing and dancing. The Patriarch had returned, and countless beauties came to serve him. Ha! Fellow Yi, this one is beautiful. Why don't you use her? The Patriarch winked at Yi Chun. His small eyes rolled around, making Yi Chun speechless. Patriarch, you should keep her for yourself. Yi Chun only had Su Yuhan in his heart. He was not interested in these so-called beauties. The old ancestor was different. As long as she was a woman and didn't look too ugly, it would be easy for her to enjoy herself. Seeing the Patriarch touching the beauty and exploring her, causing her to moan repeatedly, the scene was very awkward. Yi Chun and Wu Shuang shook their heads. Come out, Patriarch of Yellow Spring. At this moment, curses came from outside. The Patriarch's brows furrowed as he flew out. Who is it? Patriarch of Yellow Spring. I'm from the North Nether sect. I'm here to issue a challenge on behalf of my sect master, Taoist Bei Ming. Oh, the Patriarch of Yellow Spring can't sit still so soon. It seems like the lesson the Patriarch taught him back then has been engraved in his heart. Ha! Patriarch of Yellow Spring, don't be so arrogant. The sect master will let you die. What a joke. I've returned to make the Yellow Spring sect rise again. The North Nether sect is nothing. This is a challenge letter. That person threw a letter of challenge at the old ancestor before flying away. The Patriarch opened it and saw that it was indeed Taoist Bei Ming's handwriting. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The words flew up and soon formed Taoist Bei Ming's appearance in midair. Patriarch of Yellow Spring, how dare you kill someone from the North Nether sect? This time, your Yellow Spring sect will be destroyed with you. 3 days later, at the Yellow Spring Battle Mansion, I'm waiting for you to die. Remember, don't even think about escaping. Otherwise, your Yellow Spring sect will be buried with me. In midair, Taoist Bei Ming's shadow kept shouting at the Patriarch of Yellow Spring. Damn it! The Patriarch was furious. With a slap, the shadow shattered on the spot. Patriarch, what do you think? The Yellow Spring Taoist asked with the experts of the Yellow Spring sect. What do you think? What's there to think about? Fight to the death. Yes. Everyone agreed and listened to the Patriarch's arrangements. Hurry up and prepare for battle. Yes. The Yellow Spring Taoist brought everyone to Zhengjun to prepare for the battle. At that moment, Yi Chun walked over. Patriarch, who exactly is this Taoist Bei Ming? Fellow Yi, you might not know this, but this person is ruthless. Back then, because I saw too much killing, I used the yellow spring seal to stop his development. I didn't expect this kid to break the seal himself. It seems like his cultivation base has increased greatly in the past few hundred years. He wants to take revenge on me. I see. Is the patriarch confident of winning? Huh. I've never been afraid of anyone. Don't worry, fellow Yi. Then we'll see how the patriarch performs. No problem. The patriarch's face was full of smiles. He did not feel nervous at all. Under the patriarch's arrangement, everyone drank for 3 days. The battle was about to begin. Into this chapter. Chapter 1938. Did you guys hear that? The Yellow Spring Old Ancestor has returned. A storm of blood is inevitable in the Yellow Spring Battle Mansion. Yeah, I heard that the Old Ancestor killed the North Nether Sex expert, North Nether Chi, right after he returned. The old Taoist North Nether was furious and has been wandering around the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion's forces recently. It seems like he's plotting something. This time, let's see if Ancestor still has the courage of the past. Huh, we're just here to watch the show. We'll cheer for whoever wins. Old Taoist Bei Ming has already issued the challenge. The battle is about to begin. In the streets and alleys of the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion, many experts were discussing. They were all waiting to watch a good show. Boom! A violent gale rose, and the sun and moon lost their light. Today, the long-awaited battleground of the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion was stirred once again. Dong, dong, dong. The disciples of the North Nether clan cleared the battlefield, and Taoist North Nether arrived on the back of a striped tiger. On the other hand, the North Nether clan had far fewer people. Over the years, Dark North Taoist had dominated the Netherworld Battle Mansion and gathered most of the experts under his command. There was only one purpose for him to allow the Netherworld sect to continue existing, and that was to lure old ancestor Netherworld back and kill him for revenge. The battlefield was surrounded by mountains, and on top of the mountains sat people from the major forces. Ha! I never thought that old ancestor Yellow Spring would really return. That's right. How many years has it been? Who knows where this old man is hiding, making it difficult for us to find him. Don't be careless. We need to see who will win between Patriarch Netherworld and Taoist Dark North. This is the key to our choice. You're right. These so-called big powers were just fence-sitters. They only looked at the winner. On the battlefield, the Netherworld sect and the North Nether sect faced each other. Old Taoist Bei Ming, come out and die. Patriarch Yellow Spring flew toward the North Nether sect. Ha ha ha. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring, you've finally returned. At the same time, Taoist North Ming flew out, releasing the power of darkness all over his body. Black water surrounded his back, ready to attack at any time. You bastard, you've already mastered the black water divine technique? Of course. Do you think I've wasted all these years? Patriarch Yellow Spring, today will be the day you die. Since this is the place for the final battle, I will make sure that your North Nether sect loses convincingly. No problem. With so many big shots here, we can all witness the moment when Netherworld sect's name is erased from history. Taoist Bei Ming waved at the peak, and countless experts responded. He wanted to let old ancestor Yellow Spring understand that the Netherworld sect no longer had the final say in the Netherworld Battle Mansion, but the North Nether sect. This was to pressure Patriarch Yellow Spring. However, all of this was nothing to him. What he wanted was the head of Taoist North Ming. Everyone, this is a grudge between Acheron's sect and North Nether sect. I hope all of you can see it clearly. Don't worry, Patriarch. We won't interfere with your bloody battle. One of them said with a strange smile. That's right. All of you are important figures. We'll just watch the show. He, of course. The name of old ancestor Yellow Spring is so domineering that we dare not interfere. Although everyone said that they would not interfere, the old ancestor had already seen some clues. These people were entangled with old Taoist North Ming. It was hard to say what exactly was going on. Seeing that the old ancestor was hesitating, Yi Chun walked forward. Patriarch, why are you hesitating? With me and Wu Shuang here, do you have anything to worry about? As soon as he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. Who is this brat? How dare he speak so arrogantly? Ha ha! Avoid refinement trash dares to pretend. He's courting death. Many powerhouses mocked Yi Chun, but he did not care. What he wanted was to help the old ancestor kill Taoist North Ming and let Acheron's sect rise again. Ha ha, you useless trash. How would you know how powerful fellow Yi is? Shut up. The old ancestor scolded everyone. Old ancestor Yellow Spring, don't be arrogant. You're the only one who can rely on avoid refinement trash. Indeed, you're making things difficult for us for a piece of trash. Old ancestor, you're crazy. Old ancestor, you must be cautious in this difficult time. Everyone was clearly threatening because they saw the old ancestor defending an unknown brat at void refinement stage in front of everyone. They were all famous figures, so they could not accept such a contrast. I'll settle the score with you after I kill Taoist North Ming. The old ancestor Yellow Spring naturally understood that the North Nether sect had been able to run amok all these years because of the support of these so-called major forces. They helped the North Nether sect sit on the position of overlord, and then obtained a lot of benefits from the North Nether sect. Ha ha, old ancestor, if you say that, there's nothing we can do. Taoist North Ming, we all support you. Yes, we support the North Nether sect. Instantly, countless powerhouses expressed their support for the North Nether sect. They had colluded long ago, but the old ancestor had given them a chance to break the deadlock in advance. B** starred. The old ancestor was furious, but with a strong enemy in front of him, he could not attack those people. Those people revealed treacherous smiles on their faces, waiting for the old ancestor to die. They knew very well that Taoist North Ming had cultivated the Blackwater Divine technique all these years and had succeeded. It was extremely powerful, so the old ancestor would definitely die. Yi Chen's eyes swept in all directions, and all kinds of information entered his mind. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Then, the information turned into images. It was these people's techniques and cultivation base. As long as it could be seen, everything was there. As the saying went, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will win every battle. A bunch of mobs dares to be so brave? Yi Chen sneered and thought to himself. At this moment, many powerhouses from the Netherworld sect and the North Nether sect entered the battlefield. Old Ancestor Netherworld. I'll let you know today that the Netherworld sect has long fallen. As he spoke, Taoist North Ming signaled a powerhouse with his eyes. Remember, kill everyone from the Netherworld sect without mercy. Yes, that person flew onto the battlefield. Netherworld sect, who dares to fight? There is a provocative look on his face, as if he thought that no one from the Netherworld sect dared to accept the challenge. This person was a powerhouse from the North Nether sect, Biming Foam. His strength was far above Biming Cheese. He cultivated the Black Energy Divine technique, and was Taoist North Ming's favorite disciple. Haha, it's Biming Foam. This person is ruthless and has killed countless Netherworld sect disciples. No one dares to fight this time. Yes, the Netherworld sect has fallen. The Netherworld sect is useless. Instantly, countless powerhouses mocked the Netherworld sect. At this moment, the old ancestor was furious and turned to look at everyone. Who dares to fight? As expected, many powerhouses from the Netherworld sect looked at each other, not daring to move. What are you all doing? Taoist Netherworld, what's going on? The old ancestor scolded angrily. Old ancestor, you might not know this, but this person is the god of slaughter of the North Nether sect. He's extremely powerful and ruthless. This end of this chapter. Chapter 1939. Hearing Taoist Master Netherworld's words, the Patriarch flew into a rage. Since when did we Netherworld sect become so cowardly? The Patriarch's words were extremely domineering. Taoist Master Netherworld dared not speak anymore and could only lower his head. Ha! At that moment, a mocking laugh came from behind, shaking everyone's hearts. As long as all of you kneel and beg for mercy, I can consider letting you live. Biming Fong sneered at the people from Netherworld sect with a face full of mockery. In his eyes, everyone in front of him was trash. Biming Fong. The Patriarch's eyes were cold as anger surged. Patriarch of Netherworld, It seems like no one from your netherworld sect dares to fight. Or do you want to fight personally? I'm not afraid of you. Beiming Feng stretched out his arms again, as if he had won. Ha ha ha. Many powerhouses laughed. Not only the people from North Nether sect, but there were also many people from sects that used to be on good terms with Netherworld sect. Times had changed, and everything was different from when the Patriarch was around. He's just someone who has a death wish. What's there to be afraid of? At that moment, someone walked forward. It was Yi Wushuang. What did you say, you immature brat? Beiming Feng shouted angrily when he heard Yi Wushuang's words. Fellow Yi, there's no need for Wushuang to do anything. I'll take care of this bastard myself. The Patriarch of Netherworld said to Yi Chun. Patriarch, you're the master of Netherworld sect. You don't have to do it yourself. Leave this to me. How can I do that? Why would I say that? Ha ha ha. Fellow Yi is indeed righteous. I'll thank you in advance. I'll watch Fellow Yi perform. The Patriarch of Netherworld returned to Netherworld sect's side and glared at Taoist Master Netherworld. Trash, back off. Yes, yes. Taoist Master Netherworld retreated with the people from Netherworld sect. At that moment, Yi Wushuang walked out from the battlefield. Ha ha. The Patriarch of Netherworld has fallen to the point of using a kid to fight? How laughable. The old Taoist priest Bei Ming glanced at Yi Wushuang. He was just a kid on conjoint body. Although it was amazing that he could reach conjoint body at this age, he would be courting death if he fought Bei Ming Feng. Hey. Yi Chen suddenly shouted at Taoist Master Beiming. Kid, what do you mean? Taoist Master Dark North replied. If you want to fight, let's fight. What's the point of saying so much? Beiming Feng, kill that brat, then kill them all. Old Taoist Bei Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. Since old ancestor Netherworld was back, the revenge could begin. The slim chance of survival that was given to the people of Netherworld sect could be taken back now. Kill. Beiming Feng's killing intent exploded as he charged at Yi Wushuang in a frenzy. Zzz. However, Yi Chen's eyes gleamed as the heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared above his head. Subsequently, his primordial spirit merged with the sword spirit and merged with Yi Wushuang. Yi Wushuang opened his eyes all of a sudden. He was as cold as the god of death. Even Beiming Feng felt a chill in his heart when he saw such a gaze. He was a person with a murderous temperament, but he didn't expect the eyes of the person in front of him to be 100 times colder than his. So. Yi Wushuang moved and arrived before Beiming Feng within the blink of an eye. Impossible. Beiming Feng was shocked when he saw the scene before him. The speed of the person before him was too ridiculous. Yi Wushuang was a sword spirit. Now that he had Yi Chen's primordial spirit on him, he was essentially Yi Chen now. Kill. Yi Wushuang pointed his finger as he shouted, and a sword chi shot out. Whoosh. The sword chi sliced through the air in the blink of an eye. The sword chi was extremely precise as it was aimed at Beiming Feng's throat. So cold. Beiming Feng was a person who had lived on the edge of a knife, so he immediately realized how terrifying the person before him was. Relying on his killing instinct, Beiming Feng tilted his body and dodged the fatal attack. Whoosh. However, the blade still pierced through his shoulder. It was excruciating. Blood spurted out of his shoulder like a pillar. A single strand of sword chi was actually so powerful. Many experts had seen the truth of it all. Beiming Feng, the Grim Reaper of the North Nether clan, had now met an even more powerful opponent. Moreover, his opponent was unpredictable. Beiming Feng, leave your last words. Yi Wushuang's eyes shone with a white gleam as if he was unconscious. It was because he was currently possessed by Yi Chen. What did you say? As the powerful god of death of the North Nether sect, how could Beiming Feng be threatened like this? Of course, he would not give in. He wanted to unleash his most powerful ability and kill the person before him to prove his ability. Beiming Feng, stop playing around. Kill him. In order to prove how powerful the North Nether sect was, the old Taoist priest did not want to waste any time. So he gave Beiming Feng the final order. Yes. Beiming Feng turned around and charged after receiving the order. Your time's up. Die. Beiming Feng moved at the fastest speed. He could not even blink. Sigh. In the end, that brat is going to die in Bai Mingfeng's hands. He has such a cultivation base at such a young age. He's quite talented, but he shouldn't have offended the North Nether sect. I didn't expect the Patriarch of Hell to find such powerful help. What a pity. Many powerhouses expressed their pity. Many of them even wanted to rope Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang in, but they did not have the chance now. At that moment, Yi Wushuang stood alone in the battlefield like a bronze statue. Such a strange action confused Bai Mingfeng. Coupled with the power of the sword Qi earlier, his movements were slowed down by half a beat. What? Yi Chun was the incarnation of the heavenly Dharch. His combat experience was probably 100,000 times that of Bai Mingfeng's. This momentary opportunity was seized by him immediately. Kill! With Yi Wushuang's body, the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared again. It merged with Yi Wushuang's Heavenly Emperor's sword body, and its power increased exponentially. Whoosh! A sharp light seemed to pierce through time and space, and the surrounding space stopped instantly. Pissed! The sharp light was too fast. Even the splattering blood could not keep up with it. At the same time, when time and space stopped, Yi Wushuang put his sword away and turned his back. Everyone's shocked expression froze in the air. Bai Mingfeng's shocked expression froze in the air, and the old Taoist priest's shocked and distorted face froze in the air. Ah! The old Taoist priest felt as if his body had entered an alternate dimension and became extremely heavy. The feeling made him crazy and furious. Rumble! As Taoist, Bei Ming relied on his own foundation to create a powerful explosion. The surrounding space finally returned to normal. Boom, boom, boom. The moment time and space returned to normal, Bai Mingfeng's head rolled onto the ground. Nobody knew how he died. Nobody even saw Yi Wushuang attack. Huh? What happened? A powerhouse asked blankly with his chin drooped. End of this chapter. Chapter 1940. After killing Bai Mingfeng, Yi Chen's primordial spirit returned, and Yi Wushuang fought alone. His majestic appearance shocked many people from the North Nether sect. Bai Mingfeng was the god of slaughter in their sect. He had killed countless powerhouses, and even people on the tribulation stage had been killed by him. Now, a mere conjoint body had killed Bai Mingfeng. This young man clearly had an extraordinary background. Even the Patriarch of Hell felt that something was wrong. Patriarch of Hell? Who is this? How dare he kill a powerhouse from my sect? The Patriarch of Hell questioned. Ha ha, this is fellow Ye's disciple. Although his cultivation base is only a conjoint body, it's more than enough to kill trash like you. He also sensed that Yi Chen's primordial spirit was attached to his body, making Yi Wushuang invincible. With Yi Chen's sword technique, killing Bai Mingfeng was too easy. However, he would not say that out loud. Now that the North Nether sect was shocked, everyone might have lingering fear. Don't think that you can scare the North Nether sect just like that. Patriarch of Hell, let's end our grudge today. Very well, Patriarch of Hell. You're a treacherous person. You deserve to die here. The two of them were at odds with each other. Seeing that the Patriarch was about to fight, Yi Chen reminded, Patriarch, this person has hidden his strength well. Don't be careless. Don't worry. I know this brat's previous level very well. I'll kill him directly this time. The Patriarch was determined to kill. Previously, this Patriarch of Hell was his mortal enemy. Back then, the Patriarch had let this guy go. Never had he thought that he would make a comeback today and dare to bully the Hell sect. He must take revenge. Kill. The Patriarch of Hell attacked. Several dark darts appeared in his hand. They flickered with a dark light and contained mysterious rules. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The darts kept flying into the air. Just as the Patriarch was about to dodge, he realized that the darts had disappeared. The Patriarch was stunned and confused. Patriarch, watch out. Yi Chen warned, but it was too late. The darts flew out of the alternate space and attacked the Patriarch of Hell. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 darts flew at him at the same time. Patriarch Yellow Spring reacted immediately, but he still could not dodge all of them. Fresh blood flowed from the old ancestor's shoulder. Just as the old ancestor was about to attack, he realized that the dart was poisoned. Poison. Ha ha, old ancestor Yellow Spring, you claim to have come from hell, but you've actually been poisoned. Seeing that Patriarch Yellow Spring was poisoned, Dark North Taoist kept smiling, feeling very proud. Damn it! The Grand Ancestor was furious. Underworld sword appeared in his hand again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The Yellow Spring's sword chi traveled in all directions, piercing through countless walls and heading straight for Taoist North Ming. Humph, insignificant tricks. Taoist Bei Ming snorted coldly and didn't care at all. Transform. Taoist North Ming threw out a pair of dark golden alms bowls, which collided with each other in midair. Boom! Immediately, a shock wave swept through the space, shattering all the underworld sword chi. The old ancestor was shocked. He didn't expect Dark North Taoist's strength to improve so quickly. Before the rescue, the old ancestor had defeated Dark North Taoist. At that time, Dark North Taoist was not talented and had a wicked mind. The old ancestor only taught him a lesson and didn't kill him. He didn't expect that he would become so powerful now. How is this possible? The old ancestor was puzzled. Ha! Old ancestor Yellow Spring, I'm not here to get rid of you today. I'm here for revenge. Dark North Taoist laughed. Finally, he had the chance to get revenge. Today, he would pay back the humiliation he received from the old ancestor. Die, old ancestor Yellow Spring. The old ancestor flew out, holding the golden alms bowl with both hands, and kept hitting it in the air. Boom! The golden alms bowl made strange noises, constantly shaking the space, forming shockwaves that went straight for the old ancestor. Underworld sword. Hell change. The old ancestor was enraged and released a great divinity. The Yellow Springs hell appeared in the world again. Sword chi whistled, and wind and thunder appeared in the sky. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The power of wind and thunder combined with the Yellow Springs chi descended. Boom! However, when the sword chi came into contact with the shock waves from the golden alms bowl, it naturally collapsed and turned into nothingness. This is impossible. The old ancestor was shocked. He could not understand what was going on in front of him. What special ability did the golden alms bowl have to make his underworld sword chi ineffective? Ha! Old ancestor Yellow Spring, your end is here. After you die, I'll completely destroy the Netherworld sect. The entire Netherworld battle mansion will belong to my North Nether sect. Ha ha ha! Dark North Taoist had completely gained the upper hand, and the old ancestor Yellow Spring was in danger. Meanwhile, the powerhouses who were watching the show chose to side with the North Nether sect. After all, it was the North Nether sect that had been informing the Netherworld battle mansion for a long time. Since the old ancestor Yellow Spring could not defeat Dark North Taoist, the Netherworld sect would definitely be completely destroyed in the future. They could only listen to the North Nether sect's arrangements. The old ancestor Yellow Spring can't hold on any longer. This time, Sage Master North Nether will definitely win. That's right. The old ancestor has left the Netherworld battle mansion for so many years, and he's going to be defeated when he comes back. What a pity. Martial Dao disciples walk against the current. If they don't advance, they'll fall behind. The old ancestor can't hold on any longer. The crowd only saw the result, and they could not see the key at all. Yi Chen's eyes were sharp, and his fiery eye was watching. From the pair of golden alms bowls, he sensed the rule that surpassed the heavenly tribulation. The power was engraved into the golden alms bowls through some kind of formation veins. As long as Dark North Taoist knew how to activate the veins' power, the golden alms bowls could unleash a power that surpassed his own. That was the reason why Dark North Taoist seemed to be invincible. Although these veins are exquisite, they pale in comparison to the 8 divine veins. However, the old ancestor isn't familiar with the martial art of veins, so it's impossible for him to be his match. Yi Chen knew what Dark North Taoist was relying on at a glance. At the same time, Dark North Taoist was going to kill the old ancestor. Netherworld sword, slash. The old ancestor channeled all of his origin power, wanting to stake it all on this one attack. Ha ha ha, it's useless. Dark North Taoist released the golden alms bowl's power again. Boom! The powerful force instantly shattered the netherworld sword chi, and the old ancestor was defeated again. Puffed. The old ancestor spat out a mouthful of blood. The blood poison had attacked his heart, and he could no longer fight. Go to hell. Kill. Dark North Taoist seized the opportunity and attacked the old ancestor Yellow Spring at the same time. Old ancestor. At the critical moment, Yi Chen moved and arrived next to the old ancestor within the blink of an eye. Go! Yi Chen pointed his sword finger, and the Heavenly Emperor's sword chi shot out. It contained the 8 divine veins, and it was extremely exquisite. It's still sword chi. Shatter. Dark North Taoist had no idea what was going on, so he wanted to use the golden alms bowls to destroy the sword chi. However, the golden alms bowls bounced back the moment they came into contact with the sword chi. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of metal clashing was heard, and sparks flew everywhere. Dark North Taoist caught the golden alms bowls forcefully while his body trembled as he retreated dozens of steps. Everyone was shocked. End of this chapter. Chapter 1941. The golden alms bowl was Dark North Taoist priest's foundation, so he had to take it by force. However, the moment he touched it, he felt a sharp pain coming from his hand. It was a heart-wrenching pain. How was that possible? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the recoil from Yi Chen's sword chi was too powerful, the golden alms bowl kept shaking. Dark North Taoist priest's hands were shaking as if he had encountered the recoil from a super powerhouse's internal energy. The situation had completely exceeded Dark North Taoist priest's expectations. Naturally, he was shocked. You're using a pair of golden alms bowls to harm others. Just as the patriarch said, you're a cunning person. Yi Chen glared at Dark North Taoist priest coldly. Every word he said was a provocation and mockery. Everyone was shocked to hear that and see what happened. Elder Taoist Bei Ming was someone who could suppress the Patriarch of Hell, and it was a huge advantage. The Patriarch of Hell was a tribulation stage cultivator, but he was still no match for Elder Taoist Bei Ming. However, everyone saw that Yi Chen's cultivation base was at the conjoint body stage, which was the same as the young man from before. You're definitely not a conjoint body. You're suppressing your cultivation base. That's for sure. Dark North Taoist priest roared. He absolutely did not believe that Yi Chen was only a conjoint body. However, to him, even if Yi Chen was a tribulation stage cultivator, it was impossible for him to fight the golden alms bowl. What exactly went wrong? Without the golden alms bowl, you're a piece of trash. Yi Chen did not respond to Dark North Taoist priest's roar. Instead, he continued to pressure him with words. Damn it. Even if you're a tribulation stage cultivator, you're still a corpse to me. Suddenly, Dark North Taoist priest's body cracked, and a black battle armor appeared on him. At the same time, his foundation increased crazily, reaching complete tribulation stage. Yi Chen's eyes were cold. Although he knew that Dark North Taoist priest Golden Alms Bowl had a history, he did not expect Dark North Taoist priest to elevate his cultivation base to such a level with the concealment formation in the alms bowl. Everyone was shocked. A complete tribulation stage cultivator was definitely a super powerhouse among them. It was a level where one could truly undergo the tribulation stage and become an immortal. It was too terrifying. Rumble. At that moment, the surrounding space was compressed rapidly. The golden alms bowl kept vibrating, releasing a powerful force. Countless powerhouses were shocked and dared not move. Ha ha ha! Taoist Bei Ming continued to laugh wildly, and a powerful cyclone appeared around his body. There was even the power of thunder stirring, which was a sign of the great perfection of the tribulation transcendence. See how strong this sovereign's foundation is? Brat, no matter who you are, no matter how deep you've hidden your cultivation, it's all useless now. This sovereign is definitely above you, and with the support of the Golden Alms Bowl, death is your only ending. Then let me see what you've got. Yi Chen glared at Taoist Master North Ming coldly and activated his golden pupil flame. Immediately, he saw a layer of light that ordinary people could not see surrounding Taoist Master Northming's body. The light was similar to the light on the golden alms bowl, but it was hidden under the black battle armor. These rays of light contained demonic patterns. These demonic patterns were different from ordinary demonic patterns. They contained exquisite formations that could forcibly raise Taoist Dark North's cultivation, and the source of the power transmitted by these demonic patterns was the golden alms bowl. Ha ha, brat, you're too conceited. Die. Taoist Master Northming was furious. He was a super powerhouse who had controlled the Netherworld Battle Mansion for many years. Today, he encountered an unknown brat blocking his way. This was a humiliation in itself. If he did not kill the enemy before him, he would not be able to survive in the Netherworld Battle Mansion anymore. Seeing such a powerful Taoist Master Northming, everyone thought that Yi Chun was done for this time. Sigh, he's a genius to be able to force Taoist Master Northming back, but facing Taoist Master Northming who has raised his cultivation to such a level, Yi Chun is doomed. Not only is he doomed, but he'll die in the most brutal way possible. You all know how Taoist Master Northming treats his enemies. That's right, what a pity for this brat. Everyone shook their heads. Although they had submitted to Taoist Master Northming, they still had some complaints about him, but they dare not say it out loud. Taoist mysterious method. Apprehension. Taoist Master Northming's body emitted a black glow as dark whirlwind spun around him. They rose and turned into a tornado. Subsequently, countless bird cries were heard. Countless black cranes charged at Yi Chun like arrows that left the bow. Oh! Yi Chun smirked slightly, and the space-time wrath suddenly appeared behind him. Roar! An earth-shattering roar was heard, and a dark abyss appeared before Yi Chun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The whirlpool in the dark abyss spun rapidly, and an irresistible absorption force erupted. Countless black cranes were completely absorbed by this dark whirlpool. Seeing that not only did his divinity not cause any harm, but it was also being absorbed by Yi Chun directly, Yi Chun was too arrogant. You be asterisk starred. How dare you absorb my divinity? Great, you're dead. Ha ha. Although he thought that Yi Chun would definitely be attacked by the black cranes and be poisoned to death, it was extremely shocking that Yi Chun could directly absorb the great divinity that he released through the Taoist Master Northming's mysterious method. Many powerhouses of the Taoist Master Northming were shocked by Yi Chun, but when they heard Taoist Master Northming say that Yi Chun would definitely be poisoned to death, they began to shout, "Yi Chun must die! Yi Chun must die!" Countless people shouted and roared. The more they shouted, the more guilty they felt because the great divinity of the killer move was directly absorbed. Such a scene had never happened before. Taoist Master Northming, how dare an ant like you criticize the Heavenly Emperor's actions? The corner of Yi Chun's lips curled up slightly. Suddenly, the huge figure behind him stomped his feet. Rumble. The ground shook and cracked. The Taoist Master Northming disciples who shouted, "Yi Chun must die," earlier were floating in the air. What's going on? No, let me go. What is this? Can't we resist this kind of power? Countless Taoist Master Northming's bodies floated in the air involuntarily. Subsequently, they began to spin in the air. Such a scene made Taoist Master Northming feel incredulous. Get down here. Taoist Master Northming released the power of the golden alms bowl, trying to destroy Yi Chun's whirlpool formation. However, when the golden alms bowl approached the whirlpool, it was repelled. It kept making vibrating noises, and cracks even appeared on the golden alms bowl, making Taoist Master Northming's heart tremble. This golden alms bowl was his foundation. Once the golden alms bowl broke, not only would he lose the ability to use the super divinity, but his foundation would also plummet. All of this was under Yi Chun's control. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As everyone watched in shock, the bodies of the Taoist Master Northming disciples floating in the air were torn apart. Their bones shattered, and their flesh and blood splattered everywhere. Today is the 11th of February, 2021 in the Gregorian calendar, which is also the 30th day of the 12th lunar month. Gushan wishes everyone a happy New Year's Eve and good luck in the year of the ox. May your family be happy and everything goes well. I also thank everyone for accompanying me and supporting me until now. End of this chapter. Chapter 1942. You dare to kill my North Nether sex disciple? North Nether shouted angrily. Why wouldn't an ant like you dare? Killing you is like slaughtering a chicken or a dog. Yi Chen sneered. He did not take North Nether seriously at all. His arrogance shocked everyone. Now, no one dared to say anything bad about Yi Chen. Even those who mocked Yi Chen and thought he was useless knelt on the ground and began worshipping him. They knew that it was too easy for these powerful people to kill them. Moreover, they must have heard what they said earlier. This was their only chance to survive. They could not give up their pride in martial Dao and do such a thing. ****. I'm in charge of the Netherworld Battle Mansion. Die, you juniors. North Nether completely unleashed his power. The super strong power of a great retribution stage shook heaven and earth and reversed the universe. However, the person in front of him was the ruler of the sky, the king of the sun and the moon. Facing such an existence, it was useless even if he had heaven-defying power. Golden Alms Bowl. North Nether realized that not only was the person in front of him not at the conjoined body stage, but his cultivation base was not lower than his. He was a great retribution stage powerhouse. Such an old monster could not be killed without unleashing his ultimate power. Rumble. The North Nether mysterious technique kept improving his foundation. North Nether decided to stake it all and completely released the demonic pattern formation in the Golden Alms Bowl. Hiss. Countless demonic patterns appeared on North Nether's body, turning him into a demon general. Ha. North Nether laughed maniacally. He had clearly lost his mind and was controlled by the demonic energy. The people from the other forces in the Netherworld Battle Mansion finally understood that North Nether's power was demonic energy. How is this possible? This guy is from the demon race? It doesn't look like it. I think he's controlled by the demon race. This guy defected to the demon race. We definitely can't follow him. When everyone saw North Nether's demonic body, some cultivators with backbone began to draw a line with him. They began to support Yi Chen. After all, Yi Chen could force North Nether to this step. Obviously, he was an almighty. Yi Chen is our hope. Kill these demons and free the battle mansion. Kill the demonic dwellers and free the Yellow Springs battle mansion. In an instant, countless people from various forces switched sides and supported Yi Chen. This caused many powerhouses of the North Nether sect to feel waves of pressure. They did not expect that the North Nether Taoist had obtained his strength from the demon clan. If this went on, they would be too ashamed to show their faces. We support Yi Chen. Finally, many of the North Nether sect's combatants switched sides. They stood on the crowd side and supported Yi Chen. Old Taoist Dark North, you've worked so hard for your entire life, yet you've ended up like this. How do you feel? Yi Chen asked while looking at Master Dark North. Yi Chen, I must kill you today. I'll deal with these pieces of trash after I kill you. Old Taoist Master Dark North's domineering aura reverberated in all directions. Many people were terrified when they heard that. They were contemplating if they should escape immediately. After all, to them, Yi Chen was not a sure winner. If Yi Chen lost to Old Taoist Master Dark North, they would all be doomed. Therefore, many people left the battlefield in advance. However, they were blocked by waves of powerful magical energy halfway. It's too late for you to escape now. Old Taoist Master Dark North activated his magical energy and extended his demonic claws, instantly grabbing those cultivators who wanted to leave. Those people revealed a terrified expression and began to beg for mercy. Old Taoist Master Dark North, we were confused. Please forgive us. Old Taoist Master Dark North, we're willing to follow you to kill Yi Chen. Those fence-sitters began to fall with the wind again. They begged for mercy and flattered him. However, Old Taoist Master Dark North was already controlled by the magical energy. His murderous nature could not be contained, so he did not listen to their explanations at all. Kill. Kacha. With a series of cracking sounds, those cultivators' bodies exploded one after another. Blood flowed like a river. Ha ha ha! Old Taoist Master Dark North laughed maniacally. Killing made him extremely excited. Naturally, Yichen would not save these fence-sitters. They dug their own fates, so they had to bear the consequences themselves. Seeing so many cultivators die in old Taoist Master Dark North's hands, more people fell into panic. However, they still endured it because old Taoist Master Dark North had gone crazy. They did not want to repeat the same mistake. Yi Chun, it's your turn. Old Taoist Master Dark North locked his cold eyes on Yi Chun as a sinister and vicious smile appeared at the corner of his lips. As such, everyone was shocked at the same time because if Yi Chun died in old Taoist Master Dark North's hands, they would also be killed. Yi Chun, you must hold on. Yi Chun, kill this demon. Our hopes are all on you. Countless cultivators looked at Yi Chun with longing eyes. Clearly, he had become their savior. However, Yi Chun did not care about these people's pleas at all. What he wanted was for the Acheron sect to rise again and for the Patriarch to regain his glory. It's time to end this, old Taoist Master Dark North. Yi Chun's eyes emitted a hellish cold gleam. At that moment, he was the god of death from hell, ruling over everything. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As rays of light bloomed, the sword of judgment appeared in Yi Chun's hand again, the heavenly emperor's sword. Ha ha! Yi Chun, this sword is indeed extraordinary. It looks like it might even be comparable to an immortal weapon. But so what? It's just trash in your hands. I've absorbed the power of the demon venerable. I'm invincible now. Die. Old Taoist Master Dark North was very confident in his foundation. This was the power of the demon venerable that he obtained from the golden alms bowl with his blood and sacrifice. He did not believe that he could not kill a mere Yi Chun with his great Ascension Tribulation Foundation and the power of the demon venerable. However, he had miscalculated. The mere Yi Chun before him was a supreme existence that he could not look up to. Demonic killing technique die. Old Taoist Master Dark North could not hold back his anger anymore. He released the most powerful killing ray, which was the demonic killing technique formation. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The formation turned into an ultimate weapon and attacked Yi Chun. Everyone was shocked as they stared at the battlefield. Old Taoist Master Dark North's foundation was too strong. With the support of the demonic killing technique, could Yi Chun withstand it? Even more people thought that Yi Chun could not hold on any longer and that everything was going to end. Even the Patriarch stood up and stared at the battlefield coldly. Although he believed in Yi Chun, his opponent's absolute ability was too powerful. This was a battle to the death. Facing such a great killing technique, Yi Chun's eyes were slightly cold. He slowly raised the Heavenly Emperor sword in his hand and subsequently aimed at old Taoist Master Dark North's huge figure that was charging at him. No second sun in the sky. Chapter 1943. The flames of war reached the sky, and the ground was frozen. At that moment, the most magnificent scene appeared on the battlefield. At the same time, Taoist Master Bei Ming stood a step away from Yi Chun. His huge body was like a demonic beast, but he was motionless at that moment. His entire body was sealed in ice. His body was like an ice sculpture, but within the ice sculpture, flames were burning. Everyone's jaws dropped to the ground like wooden chickens. What kind of divinity is this? It's too shocking, too awesome. It's simply a miracle. Taoist Master Bei Ming is dead. Everyone carefully observed the scene within the ice sculpture, but no matter how they looked, Taoist Master Bei Ming did not move. Only the flames were still burning. Whoosh! Yi Chun put away his sword and walked toward the Acheron sect. Patriarch, I'll leave the rest to you. Fellow Yi, you're truly a god. Ha ha ha. The Patriarch was overjoyed. He knew very well that with Taoist Master Bei Ming's current strength, he would definitely not be able to defeat him. However, before Yi Chun, Taoist Master Bei Ming was just an ant. That was the difference between them. Were the people of the North Nether sect. The Patriarch flew out and berated them forcefully. What? The people of the North Nether sect who had supported Taoist Master Bei Ming earlier knelt on the ground. not daring to move. We're willing to be punished. Please spare our lives, Patriarch. That's right. Please forgive us, Patriarch. We're willing to do anything for the Acheron sect. We'll never be disloyal. Many North Nether sect disciples knelt on the ground, begging for the Patriarch's forgiveness. How did you bully the disciples of the Acheron sect before? At that moment, the Patriarch called an Acheron sect disciple over. Patriarch, these beasts have gone too far. We can't forgive them, the disciples said fiercely. Very well. How did they bully you before? Fight back now. Yes, yes, fight back. Countless Acheron sect disciples ran over and attacked the North Nether sect disciples. Soon, the North Nether sect disciples were bruised and swollen. They did not look human anymore. However, this was already a good result for them. As long as they did not die, they were willing to accept any punishment. Great, great! The Acheron sect is invincible. The Yellow Spring Gate is supreme. In just a short moment, many forces that were suppressing Yellow Spring sect and supporting Nether North sect had now completely supported Yellow Spring sect. This was the underworld. You lowly people, shut up! The old ancestor shouted angrily. No one dared to speak again, and they all shut up. From today onwards, the Netherworld sect will seize control of the Netherworld Battle Mansion again. I, the Patriarch of Netherworld, will take the initiative to give the position of the Lord of Netherworld to fellow Taoist Yi. In the future, when you see fellow Taoist Yi, it will be the same as seeing the Lord of Netherworld. Kneel and worship. Yes, yes. After all, Yi Chen's ability was too powerful. He had easily killed the old Taoist priest North Sea, whose demonic energy had gone berserk. No one could stop his might. Ha ha! Fellow Yi, are you satisfied with this honor? The Patriarch asked Yi Chen. Patriarch, you know that I'm not interested in these things. This time, I'm just helping the Netherworld sect revive, Yi Chen said. Of course I know, but I still want the status that I should have. After all, without you, the 3,000 feet of Netherworld would have fallen into the hands of the Demon Clan. However, this old Taoist priest North Sea has such strength. He must have received help from a demon world almighty. If we don't investigate this matter clearly, I'm afraid that there will be endless danger below the 3,000 feet of Netherworld. What the Patriarch said was exactly what Yi Chen was worried about. He could tell at a glance that it was impossible for the old Taoist priest North Sea to reach such a level with his own talent and foundation. This could be seen when the old Taoist priest North Sea lost the power of the golden alms bowl, and his figure instantly dispersed. Patriarch, I'll handle this matter. You should revive the Netherworld sect immediately. Thank you, fellow Yi. The Patriarch nodded slightly and personally led the team to reorganize the major forces in the Netherworld Battle Mansion. All of them were under the Netherworld sect's leadership. Subsequently, Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch returned to the Netherworld sect together, while Yi Chen visited various places in the Netherworld Battle Mansion. After a day of visiting, Yi Chen knew every corner of the Netherworld Battle Mansion like the back of his hand. However, he did not find a place where the demonic energy was hidden. This meant that if there was really a mastermind behind this, he must have already known about what happened here and concealed his whereabouts. Netherworld Battle Mansion, 3,000 feet of abyss. Yi Chen walked to the edge of the abyss and looked down. The endless darkness was like the mouth of a giant beast, constantly devouring people's consciousness. Ordinary people would fall into it and sacrifice themselves if they looked at it. However, Yi Chen's mind power was so powerful, and his ancient god body was unparalleled. There was no harm even after looking at it many times. However, Yi Chen did not see any information from the abyss. Yi Chen's eyes were slightly cold. The power in his body shook as he activated the golden pupil flame. The true Samadhi fire rushed into the abyss. The flames soared into the sky, illuminating a radius of 1,000 miles. However, Yi Chen still could not see the bottom of the abyss. This abyss is unusual. He immediately realized that the Netherworld abyss before him was definitely not an ordinary natural structure. It was very likely that this was the key to the chaos in the Netherworld Battle Mansion. Phew! All of a sudden, Yi-Chen seemed to have heard a strange sound. It sounded like breathing. The sound was heavy like a pulse, stirring the air in the netherworld abyss. This strange phenomenon made Yi-Chen even more certain that there must be a secret in the netherworld abyss. Could this be the source of demons? Demonic patterns bloomed on Yi-Chen's right hand. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Demonic energy continuously gathered in Yi-Chen's hand. Subsequently, he released a demonic energy shockwave that rushed down 3,000 feet. Rumble! A loud tremor sounded, but the 3,000 feet was like a huge vortex that devoured everything. Soon, the demonic energy that Yi-Chen released disappeared without a trace. This is too strange. It seems like I need to ask the Patriarch for information. Yi-Chen did not act blindly. Instead, he quickly returned to the Netherworld Gate to look for the Patriarch. After all, this was the Patriarch's previous cultivation place. He had been here for who knew how many years, so he must know something. When he returned to the Netherworld Gate, what he saw was not a cultivator, but 8 scantily dressed maids. They all bowed to Yi-Chen. "Welcome, Lord of Netherworld." When they bowed at the same time, their figures could be seen clearly. It was a spectacular scene. At a glance, Yi-Chen knew that this was the Patriarch's doing. Sigh. He could only shake his head helplessly. The maids directly stuck to him and asked questions, making Yi-Chen annoyed. Rumble. Suddenly, Yi-Chen was enraged. His divine power shook, and the 8 women were scared silly on the spot. They retreated one after another. "Ha ha! Fellow Yi, why bother with them?" The Patriarch walked out and said with a laugh, "Patriarch, your taste needs to be improved. Fellow Yi, you're surprised. These beauties all have top-notch figures. They're the Patriarch's favorite type. Why don't I find you something different?" "Don't.